Some debris on 364 going east at Maryland Heights Expressway. That's in the middle two lanes. 364 going east at Maryland Heights Expressway. Just past that, middle two lanes have some debris. Some road work on 270 going south at 44. That is in the right lane right now.
More like summer than the last day of March. That's called partly sunny, windy, and warm. We'll keep a chance of a spot shower, a thunder shower, primarily late this afternoon. 86 for the high. The record is 87, so we're going to be close to that again. A good way to wrap up March. Tonight, periods of rain, a couple of thunderstorms, 60 degrees. Wednesday, periods of rain, a couple of thunderstorms, 75. That's the unsettled pattern Wednesday night, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Sunday, Easter Sunday, partly to mostly sunny. I'll keep a chance of a spot shower, but I think much of Easter is rain-free. It's cooler, 58. From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Dave Murray on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Sponsored by Overhead Door Company of St. Louis. Midwest winters take a real toll on your garage door. Let Overhead Door Company of St. Louis come out and perform their 26-point tune-up on your garage door and opener. It's just one price for up to 3 garage doors and openers. Schedule online at overheaddoorstlewis.com. It is 80 degrees downtown at the Arch. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
The Dave Glover Show is sponsored by the Michaels Flooring Outlet, the flooring experts. IGotFloored.com.
Good afternoon, St. Louis, DGS 1041 FM KMOX. Happy Tuesday to everybody. Andrew is out today. We were texting this morning just about the show, and he said that yesterday during the show, he started feeling bad, and he thinks he has a sinus infection, so he asked if he could have the day off. I told him no. Steve Moore told him yes. So
I said, how dare you ask me such a stupid question?
He was like, hell no.
Of course you can't take a day off.
I said, yeah, why don't you take all the rest of them off, too?
Yeah.
So tomorrow's going to be a weird day because there's a game at noon-ish, and that means we typically go on 3:30, something like that, but there's rain.
And it's kind of weird rain. It's not
rain.
Like all at one time, it looks like.
So I'm hoping that they get the game in. You know, I know that they're incentivized to.
They will try because the Mets don't come back to St. Louis.
And they have a day off the next day.
Do the Mets have the next day off? I don't know. I'm going to look right now so we can figure this out. And the key thing is because that impacts when the Mets need to leave town, right?
Yeah.
And they do play the next day in San Francisco.
Ooh.
So it's a long trip. I doubt they want to play a night game tomorrow night. It does mean that the game the next day is later, though. It's a West Coast start time. So, you know, the question will be essentially, do the Mets want to push it and have a crappy trip, like late at night, you know, going to the West Coast?
Is it their call?
Before the game, it's the team's call, the home team's call. During the game, it's Major League Baseball.
Okay.
And the umpires. But, I mean, they consult everybody. You know, it's not like, because the Cardinals are off Thursday. So for them, and they do have to travel, but they're only going to Detroit. So it's not like they have a really difficult trip. It's a, hour flight, whatever. It's not that big a deal. And the Mets certainly don't want to come back here later in the summer for one day in the middle of whatever else is going on. So I'm sure they'll try, but if the weather doesn't allow, then it doesn't allow.
Yeah, but so long as it's not like severe weather, they typically don't call it before the game.
It would have to be a clear washout.
They
want to clear that they're just not going to have a window to play.
They want to give it some time.
I would think.
I have a question.
Yeah.
When the Cardinals fly, did they fly out of Lambert or did they fly out of a different airport?
Great question. I don't know if I'm assuming they fly charter, so they might fly out of Chesterfield.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I don't know exactly what everything does, but I mean, in the past, I've known like the Blues fly out of Chesterfield. And again, I wouldn't say that it's always every time. I haven't been around the team on a regular reporting basis in a long time.
So you may or may not know this, but I've always wondered this. I'm guessing each team is responsible for all of the expenses of their travel.
Oh, yeah.
So the Cardinals,
every team, the Cardinals pay for their own.
Pay for the charters.
Yeah.
That's a lot of expensive costs.
Yeah.
Man, I know they bring in a lot of money, but damn.
And I wonder, like, if you're a flight attendant, in that situation? Are you working like all the Cardinals games, or is it more like whatever the chartered company assigned you to that day? It's
Good
just,
question.
it's
I
fun
would
to
bet
think
that
about.
it's the same crew. That would be my bet.
Matt Pauley says they fly out from the airport in Sauget.
Oh, okay. There you go. Well, that makes more sense from downtown than going out to Chesterfield.
Thank you, Matt.
He's the man.
Like there's an airport in Sauget.
Yeah, you got to drive right past it to get to Grizzly Stadium.
Oh!
He's like, I didn't know there was anything else over there other than the clubs.
Where is it from the Oz? Pretend I'm at the old PTs. Which way would I turn?
Oh, and Matt says the flight attendants
Yeah.
stay the same.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, what a neat job.
Ask Matt if it's cool to fly with the
Is
team.
it fun? Matt, and also, like, would it be considered fun?
It's got to be primo duty, though, if you're working for one of those charters.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you'd
They've got
think
the
so.
best of
Yeah.
the best.
I've heard that when they get to a hotel, that they already have their rooms ready for them, and they just hand them their room card,
Oh, yeah.
and they go upstairs,
Yeah.
and then that's pretty cool.
Everything's done in advance. You walk off, you're handed a thing, and boom, there you go.
Pretty nice.
Yeah, it's a pretty good way. I've not done it as a player, like big league player, but I mean that's how it was even in college.
I loved when you and I had Scott Terry on opening day, and I asked him the question about, hey, today you got like the Pros Pro and all this stuff, and what was it like in your day? And I thought we should replay that.
Yeah.
It was such a great answer. But he basically said that everything they have today, like dedicated cafeterias and chefs and all that stuff, they didn't have any of that stuff.
No, nothing at all.
Like-
I mean, I think they had sometimes had post game spreads, but it would be just basic.
Yeah.
Like here's some sandwiches
Sammy's.
and stuff. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And it was so cool because he said that there was more unspoken tradition, and how veterans would go sit next to a guy who was either having trouble or misbehaving somehow and have a little chat with him.
Yeah, but the way he described it was really interesting. Is that the only time that the way he described it again back in he was playing mostly in the 80s, some of the early 90s, but the way he described it was if the veterans didn't approach the young players, except in that case where there was a correction needed, it was up to the young players to approach the older players to ask for advice, to get tips, to talk ball, whatever, and that makes some sense. And I think it's probably a little bit more initiated from the team now, where the team's like, hey, we want to do this, get them involved, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's going to be a long day for Dave today. Started out my day getting my pellets
Yeah.
from Caroline, Dr. Maupin's office. She did a great job, more painless than usual. So now I have my pellets secured in my left chubby cutlet. So I'll be hell on wheels within 2 weeks. I mean, just look out. And then I have band practice tonight after
Oh,
the show. So
don't take the Trazodones today.
I know. I was going
No.
to say, I can't believe I didn't ask you. We've been in the office all day. How was the rest of your night on Trazodone?
So I hung around here a little bit just to make sure I was okay. Then I drove home. I kind of lost control of my car a little bit and ended up in a little pond in Forest Park.
Jeez, dude. What are you, Tiger Woods?
No, I went home and was very tired.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
I just
You go to
had
bed early?
Couch day.
Yeah, I was very yes. And I didn't realize how tired I was until I got home. I'm like,
So it sounds like, though,
Very
that at
tired.
least for a bit, the Red Bull kind of countered it, gave you a chance to finish the day, and then you got home and you're like, whoop, whoop, whoop,
I
whoop,
don't know.
Do you guys ever like fall asleep real hard early and then you wake up and you think, oh, it's in my bones. I can feel it's 4 a.m. And then
yeah.
I
And
did
it's
that
like
last night.
10.
Yeah, I looked at the phone. It was 11. I was like,
Yeah.
whoa, I feel like I've been sleeping for 7 hours.
Yeah, last week I went to bed at 8 one night. Wasn't feeling great. Woke up. It was dark, but it's dark in the morning now, till like 7. And I'm like, oh, I bet it's like 6:30. I might just go ahead and get up. And I just reached over like we all do, tapped my phone. And it was 10:30 p.m. I could get up and
I can't
Watch
remember
the Tonight
last
Show
time
if I wanted to.
I honestly cannot remember the last time I was asleep by 10:30 or 11.
Yeah, we have very different lives.
It's just, isn't that great? It's just, we're the same species, but they're just such funny little differences.
Mm-hmm.
Even when I'm super tired, you can forget 11. That's not happening.
Yeah. I stay up till like 12:30 on Saturday night. That was,
Woo, party.
yeah.
Just sleep in.
I can't. I'm
Really,
I'm
just wired to wake
incapable.
up. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm absolutely incapable. Probably the very latest, like with a normal bedtime that I've woken up in the past few years would be like if I woke up and it was 8, I'd be like, oh my God,
Yeah.
what's happening? What's happened in the world since
If I woke up at 8, I'd be so pissed.
Yeah. I like to wake up
No.
early too. I think the absolute latest I could go these days would be 9. And I would feel bad about it because there just reaches a point where you're getting up early for long enough that you realize, like, yeah, I'm able to fit more into my day.
Yeah.
And
then you're awake for more of the day.
Yeah. What's so bad about that?
See, the beauty of being a night person is there's nothing to do at night except watch movies and play video
That's
games.
true.
Like, you don't have to do errands. You can't run errands at 1 a.m.
I went to to get gas last night on my way home, which was exacerbated by being super crazy high on prescription medications.
Yeah.
And I was very, very low in my gas. Lowest I've been in the Jeep so far. And I don't know the Jeep very well, so I don't know when it's going to kick off. So I stopped at a gas station and not a QT or anything. It was like a Shell, but it was a small one. And they had a sign on every pump saying we are all out of every gas but premium. So I paid $4.79.
Oh, that had to suck.
Last night. And
To fill a full tank?
no. Typically, Dave would be like, what the hell? I'll just fill the
Just
tank.
do it.
I did like $15.
Okay.
And like, I'll get this somewhere tomorrow.
Yeah. That's a good move.
And I left in a huff. Oh,
Well, yeah, I would have been mad.
How far is
about
that 3
too.
gallons going to get you?
yeah, right? At $4.79.
I know. It's like, dude.
It goes pretty quick.
Yeah.
$4.79.
That's wild.
I mean, it's almost 4. It's getting up on 4 now just for regular old unleaded.
Yeah, I think.
And we're below the national average. I was over on the Illinois side last night, and it was 410.
Yeah. It's the highest since 2022.
I watched a little bit of Pete Hegseth and General Kane this morning doing a debrief. And they didn't say much of anything real, but Pete did drop that the president is strongly considering leaving Iran and leaving the Strait of Hormuz. Just hands off. If you guys want to open it. If you don't, then NATO can do something about it because we only get 2% of our oil through the strait. And Trump's thinking is not our problem.
But we created it.
We did.
How's
We
that
did.
going to play with all of our allies when you create a
good.
problem for them and then leave them on the hook?
Not good.
Maybe don't do these things until you, I don't know, consult allies and stuff.
So if we're considering leaving, does that mean that we have met our objective?
I mean, they will say we have, whether we have or not.
Right. And
Which,
the
who
objective
knows?
was to
we
kill
don't-
the Ayatollah.
Yeah, we don't know because they said so many different things,
Yes.
which I think was incompetence, but it kind of looks like genius now because they can just pick one and go, oh, yeah, we've accomplished that.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
like, what was the main goal stated as you understood it? Like, what was the main reason this had to happen now?
What I put together was in spite of the bravado that a few months ago we obliterated their nuclear ambitions, we didn't.
Yeah.
And I think we got some intel that they were manufacturing long ballistic missiles at a terrifying rate. I think we got scared by them. I think that we got some sort of intel that they were more of a menace than we thought. I also think, and I'm just giving my humble opinion, it's not gospel. I'm not Rush Limbaugh. I don't have half my brain tied behind my back. Just my opinion. You can disagree. I think Trump wanted a war. I think he wanted to be a wartime president. I think he thought his approval ratings would go up and everyone would love him and would be remembered for it. but I don't think they they prosecuted the first part of it, the air bombing raids, very well.
Yeah.
Our
military
military
is the best, man. They're going to execute when you give them something.
But I think they thought that was going to do it, because for most countries,
they underestimated the opponent.
Yes.
Which
it's Iran.
It's not. Yes, this isn't Iraq.
Yeah.
And even that, again, we talked about yesterday, even Iraq, which was a much weaker opponent, took 20 years and still it's screwed up. Yeah. Now we still have the wrong people in charge there.
Tyler on the stream says, I drive for a living just next door in Illinois. Diesel is $5.69 in some spots.
Yikes.
And Pilot John says Delta flies the baseball charters, at least for the Mets.
Yeah, Kyle, our engineer here, emailed me when
he worked for the Twins.
Yes, when he was working for the Twins, it was always Delta, and he said they would have the same flight attendants but different pilots.
Okay.
Very cool. Lombardo Rage?
Yeah. Dave, I think this is our last day to tell the folks about this deal going on at Lombardo Homes. So listen, Lombardo Homes has become known for quality, luxury, customization. Some of those beautiful homes you're going to see in the St. Louis area. And this month, the month of March, you can get a free finished recreation room in the lower level. You can use this for anything that fits your lifestyle: home gym, home office, movie nights, whatever. But listen, you should call today because I believe this incentive is ending. Visit lombardohomes.com, explore these different homes, these different options, get a hold of a sales manager and tell them you're interested in this free rec room.
Yeah, I'm not sure what has to happen before the end of the month, which is today. For you to qualify for this. It may be too late, practically. But if you're really interested in it, if you really are interested in building a home this year and you'd like to get a free lower level if you can, just call Lombardo, get a sales manager and say, I'm from the DGS. Dave didn't know what I had to do today, but if it's enough just to put my name down, do it. You might as well do it. What the hell? You have nothing to lose. Go to lombardohomes.com.
This is the story of the one. As a procurement manager for a hospital system, she keeps every facility in her network stocked and ready. That's why she counts on Grainger to be her single source for thousands of products, from disinfectants to lighting, air filters, and more. And with fast, dependable delivery, Grainger helps her keep every facility stocked, safe, and running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Come on. No! It's just a golf lesson, champ. Loosen up. I can't. See that Hyundai Santa Fe? Yeah. I only paid. Finish up on your own. I gotta run.
Deal's so right, it almost feels wrong. The Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Get 0% APR for 60 months, plus 0 payments for 90 days on the Hyundai Tucson, Tucson Hybrid, Santa Fe, or Santa Fe Hybrid. Now, during the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Hurry. Offer ends March 31st. Call 562-314-4603 for details.
Hi, it's Kevin Wheeler here with Gloria Liu of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. Welcome back, Gloria. For years now, you've been on KMOX helping families plan their next big move with your Guaranteed Sold program. So for those planning to sell their home this year, what's your best advice?
Thank you. My advice is simple. Do your homework before listing your home. Our market is stabilizing, inventory is tightening and moving fast. In other words, the realtor you choose to sell your home really matters. That's why my sellers love my Guaranteed Sale program. I guarantee to sell your home at your agreed upon price and time frame, or I will buy it myself. I have thousands of buyers in my buyers in waiting database, so your home may already been sold before it's ever hit the market. Higher demand, more competition, and more money for your home.
Friends, if you want a realtor who will guarantee results, call the one that I trust. Gloria Liu at 314-325-6888. That's 314-325-6888. Or GloriaHasTheBuyers.com. Gloria and seller must agree on price and possession date.
I'm Ultima Morgan. Every year, almost 30,000 babies in America are born with birth injuries. It's every parent's worst nightmare. If your child suffered a birth injury, please call our firm to find out if we can help.
Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Retiring soon? Get the information you need by joining Kyle Jones and Matt Allgeier of Fira Capital Management for your retirement highway, Sunday mornings at 9:30. Investment advisory services made available through Pine Ridge Advisors, LLC, registered investment advisors. Securities made available through AE Financial Services, LLC, member FINRA and SIPC.
Built on a century. Focused on today. The voice of St. Louis. KMOX.
Welcome back, DGS and KMOX. Can you see this stupid thing with Kid Rock?
What's he
The
doing
Apache
now?
helicopters.
2 Apache helicopters came to his home and hovered while Kid Rock waved at him.
He kind of clearly lives on a hill, like a mountainside or something, because it's like you could see like there's a drop off after his pool. So he's standing next to his pool, and they're there, and he's giving them the whole patriotic wave kind of thing.
So those guys have been suspended.
The pilots.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And there's a big investigation.
Why would you do that?
Yeah, it looks like an Army official has confirmed it was a training flight. And there's obviously like super strict and high safety standards for these training flights.
It's a training
flight. They're clearly in a civilian area.
Oh, man.
Even if it's sparsely populated, I mean, you're near someone's house. I just don't. Why would you do that?
Yeah.
And again, part of this is probably on him, but it's certainly also on the bad judgment of the people, the pilots. Like, you got to say, brother, I can't do that. I'm sorry. I don't care how famous you are or whatever. I can't do that.
In one post, a helicopter is seen hovering outside of his house while he stands poolside next to a replica of the Statue of Liberty and salutes the pilots before they fly away. Got to do it for the gram. Do it for Instagram.
Jeez. A lot of good stuff coming up on the show today. We have attorney Brad Young at 2, everyone's favorite. My best friend in the world, Ricky Horton, is back with
Your
us.
golf buddy.
Yeah,
Ricky.
We're teammates now.
Yeah.
He'll be with us at 2:30. 3 p.m., we reached out to Steve Ellman, our buddy who is the St. Charles County executive, because all this is going on. Mike Elam, our other buddy, has introduced a bill about ICE. I don't quite understand it. Steve's going to come in at 3 and talk us through it. So that'll be good.
Cool.
And then Matt Pauley, who was just in here telling us cool stories, will be back at 4.
Yes.
My voice is weird.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is it kind of in and out?
Yeah.
Okay. That happens sometimes when I have a dry throat or whatever.
Yeah. I have to sing tonight.
Keep drinking some water.
Mm-hmm.
It was really funny yesterday. They were running the news story about this ICE situation that Elam introduced, like you said, Dave. And it was just kind of playing in the background. And all 3 of us were like, man, this really sounds like Mike Elam.
That's funny.
I would be so shocked. Who sounds exactly like
Yeah.
him? And of course it was
Rich, I know how you love these. The broken bone theory
Oh, a theory. Let's hear
is
it.
the new theory.
What is it now?
If you haven't broken a bone like me, it means you've had such a hard life and you knew you were going to have a hard life because you picked it and you said no broken bones. If I'm going to have anxiety and ADHD and OCD and all this stuff, then no bones. And they're like, okay, no bones.
Wow.
That's the broken bone
That's
theory.
interesting. So I guess just reversing that theory, that means if you have broken a bone, I don't want to ever hear you complaining because
Yeah.
your life is easy.
Yeah. Right.
Easy as heck.
Yeah, the broken bones are the worst part.
Yeah.
That's what they're saying.
That sounds really stupid.
Who are the they that came up with this
Exactly.
theory? Some random 18-year-old on TikTok going, you know what?
It's because
I don't know who needs to hear this, but
your life has been so hard. The universe just wouldn't even allow you to break a
Although-
bone.
I feel like I'm kind of the example they're talking about.
Because you've broken bones.
I've broken so many bones.
But your life's easy.
Comparatively, it seems like it.
Dude, I would have taken a couple broken bones.
Dude, they heal pretty fast. I mean, it hurts a lot, though. Like, it's bad.
I always wanted to cast anyway. So
trying to think how many it is.
I'm going to
Jeez.
lose. Tell you guys about the Gelman team. And, it's going to be an interesting time. It's neither a hot market nor is it a cold market. An interesting textured market. And as I always tell you guys, and I really, really mean it, it's not just self-serving, that if you have a difficult legal case, go get the best attorney you can afford. Don't get a newbie. Don't get a cheapie. Go get the best attorney you can afford. Same way if you have a difficult diagnosis, go get the best doctor. And for interesting times in real estate, get the best real estate agent that you can get. And for my money, that's the Gelman team. They have a big team. They have lots of resources. They are excellent negotiators. They are even better communicators. So you're never going to be talking to your spouse and complaining about them. When are we going to ever hear from them? We have an offer in. What's going on? Maybe we should have this. Maybe we should have that. It's constant communication. If you want to find out what we think your house is worth right now, you don't have to talk to anybody. Go to the front page of thegelmanteam.com. Go up top, put in your address. We'll give you a number. When you're ready to talk, 314-336-1991.
Certain restrictions apply.
The thing that you need in the morning, when you first wake up.
Total Information AM.
I like to be informed with the news and like to know, like in the mornings, I like to know what's going on.
Debbie Monterey, Megan Lynch, Tom Ackerman.
It's always smart to know what's going on.
Your morning news and information.
The national and local news.
Weather.
Sports.
I like the traffic reports.
Total Information AM.
I listen to it in the mornings. It really gets me going.
Total Information AM. Weekdays 5 to 9 on the voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
Midwest winters take a real toll on your garage door. Let my friends at Overhead Door Company of St. Louis come out and perform their 26-point tune-up on your garage door and opener. The work is guaranteed, and it's just one price for up to 3 garage doors and openers. No extra charge for evening or Saturday service. Overhead Door Company of St. Louis, since 1926, 100 years. Schedule online at overheaddoorsstlouis.com. That's overheaddoorsstlouis.com.
Here's Dave Murray's weather forecast.
More like summer than the last day of March. That's called partly sunny, windy, and warm. We'll keep a chance of a spot shower, a thunder shower, primarily late this afternoon. 86 for the high. The record is 87, so we're going to be close to that again. A good way to wrap up March. Tonight, periods of rain, a couple of thunderstorms, 60 degrees. Wednesday, periods of rain, a couple of thunderstorms, 75. That's the unsettled pattern Wednesday night, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Sunday, Easter Sunday, partly to mostly sunny. I'll keep a chance of a spot shower, but I think much of Easter is rain-free. It's cooler, 58. From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Dave Murray on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Honey, I found the one.
Oh, I thought I was the one.
Oh, you are, but this one's certified, background check, shows up on time, and can install all the ceiling fans.
Heating, cooling, electrical, and plumbing. Trusted pros who do it right.
Guys, the big hits get even bigger on Dinger Tuesdays at FanDuel. And, of course, the FanDuel Sportsbook is the official sportsbook of KMOX. And with baseball season underway, they're letting us choose. We customers get to choose our own reward every Tuesday to use on Major League Baseball bets. So how do you want to play it? There are 2 options. I'll tell you which one I chose. I chose the first one today. It's called the Bet Reset. So you use this on your wager. If you get it wrong, you get the refund in bonus bets if you lose. So let's say you bet $10. Actually, I think the limit was 5 today. So you bet $5, you can get $5 back the next day if the bet loses. If it wins, you win and obviously move along with your life. Option number 2 is a 50% profit boost. So you make your bet, you activate the boost, and if it hits, that's just extra winnings at no extra risk, no extra cost. So you make your choice. The reward will be ready to use on your next Major League Baseball bet. To me today, I used it on with the Dinger Tuesday. I used it on Shohei Ohtani to hit a home run today. And if I lose, I get the bet reset back, so I don't have to worry about it. So just visit FanDuel.com/Missouri. You can choose your reward for MLB bets every Dinger Tuesday. And, of course, FanDuel is an official partner of Major League Baseball. You must be 21 or older and present in Missouri to play. Opt-in required. Rewards are non-withdrawable. Restrictions apply, including bonus and token expiration, leg requirements, and max wager amount. You can see all the terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. And if you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
You know, here in St. Louis, word of mouth still matters, and I'm pretty careful about who I recommend, especially when it comes to something as personal as estate planning. I'm Tom Ackerman. My family has been working with the Laderman Law Firm for over 20 years now, and the reason is simple. They don't just create documents and send you on your way. They help make sure your plan works. Because let's be honest, life changes. Family needs and circumstances change. Laws change. But most estate plans don't change over time as needs, circumstances, and laws change. They're outdated, sitting in a drawer. People assume they're fine, and their plan will work when they need it to work. At the Laderman Law Firm, it's not a one-time transaction. It's an ongoing process. They build a plan to protect your family and your assets, and then for a fixed annual fee, they help keep it up to date as both your life and assets change. Check out the Laderman Law Firm at LadermanLaw.com or give them a call at 314-514-9100. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertisements.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
Tonight, the Cards, the Mets.
Everett Total Access 550. First pitch 645.
Cardinals Radio, 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Welcome back, DGS 134. Happy Tuesday. So I was talking to a friend of mine last night. We were texting. She's 10 years younger than me, so 51, 52. And she said something interesting. She was saying, she goes, you know what? She goes, all I did when I was a kid is like cartwheels and make pyramids with my friends, human pyramids. And I'm like, yeah, no one does that anymore. So I can't remember the last time I saw anyone playing like, pickup football in a neighborhood field. And she said, yeah, you know what else? No one ever took a single picture of us making a pyramid. No one ever took a picture of us. And I thought about that. And of course, it's different because most of our parents had like maybe an Instamatic or something. They didn't have a camera in their hand at all times.
Right.
But if you can imagine this, if you could go back to the 70s, 80s, and give parents a phone in their hand, I still don't know that they would be taking pictures of like we do. I just don't think it would even enter their 1970s or 80s mind, even if they had a camera in their hand, to be like, I should take 50 pictures of this human pyramid, because I think I have 14,000 photos on my phone. And a lot of those are screenshots for my show prep.
Right.
But still, like, what am I ever going to, I'm never going to look at those photos again. I have so many photos I'm never going to look at again. And I just wonder what you guys thought. Do you think 70s, 80s parents would ever be taking photos of insignificant things?
Not if you just plopped these into their hands, but I mean, it's, if they came up the way we did, yes.
Yeah, they didn't.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's kind of like the, would Babe Ruth hit in the modern game? Well, not if he's just dropped out of a time machine. No.
Yeah, I think it's an interesting thought that if a 1970s parent, you hand them a phone and you go, it's a phone, it takes pictures.
Yeah.
I still don't think they'd be like click, 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 click.
Not the way they came up. No.
Well,
because it took it's a gradual build.
Took me a while
to get to here, right? I mean, we didn't jump on it when we didn't have the option. We didn't have iPhones until what? How old were you when the iPhone came out? I'm trying to remember how old I was. When was it when the iPhone came out?
2005, I want to say.
Sounds right.
All right, so I was mid-30s. It took a while for me to just even get one of those when they were out, because I was like, I don't know if I want to do that.
Yeah.
It came out in 2007. Now, here's the thing. Like, I actually think they probably would be taking a ton of pictures, because even when I was growing up, it was like, well, you can't take too many pictures. It's expensive to get that film developed. Like, it wasn't an unlimited thing. If you gave them even a digital camera, I'm sure everyone would have documented more things. I think where we get into like, we film everything that's happening is because of social media. People are like, well, I want, it's just become commonplace to, I want to save this moment forever. And it's really easy to do it. It costs me nothing. I can upload it to this social media platform that hosts it for me.
It's free, right?
It's free.
You're paying for it, but it's not like you have to go develop the film. Like
I think that's the main difference there, is that it really cost you something, and you had to be careful and choose your moment back then. And now it's like, you could take as many pictures as you want. And if they're cluttering up your phone, just delete them. They're gone. You don't have to worry about it.
Last night I saw an article about how important and how lucrative Disney adults are to Disney. And I didn't really know this, but Disney adult is a term of art. It's not just if I go to Disney. It's people who are like obsessed with Disney.
Sure. Yeah.
And who spend a ton of money. And there's this really competitive thing going on where like, oh, yes, we belong to this club and it's $30,000 a year and yada, yada, yada. But I've always thought the Disney adult thing's kind of weird. Like, where would you dig? But it's kind of weird. And then immediately it's like, oh, if you like Disney, you'll like this. And it was the picture of Lindsey Graham. Have you seen this?
Yeah, holding the bubble wand.
Holding the pink bubble wand, walking around Disney by himself.
I saw a lot of people commenting about his outfit in that picture, saying, what a strange outfit to wear to Disney.
What was he wearing?
He's wearing a button down, like an Oxford shirt, tucked into khakis and loafers. And it just doesn't seem like it would be comfortable to be in that all day. I mean, maybe if you're Lindsey Graham, that is you, like, letting loose a little bit.
Right.
That's your casual fit.
Well, I don't know that these things are related, but people are relating them. He took so much crap for the Disney photo that within hours he had posted one of him shooting a shotgun.
I know. There's no question that was not an accident.
It's like, okay.
It's like, all right, you guys saw me holding a wand. Here, look at this. I'm holding a gun. I don't think there's any question that was related. I feel like if I made too many judgments on the Disney adults, they could make judgments at me for wearing other people's jerseys as a sports fan. We sports fans are not much different. We stand there and we scream for the players we like, and we wear their jerseys and buy their baseball cards and memorabilia and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I guess I don't have a problem with the Disney adults as long as we all keep in mind that the kids should come first in all of these situations. Like
especially in the park.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, and I'm not saying like, oh, you got to let every kid cut you in line. No, it's just be gracious and kind to the children who are there making their lifelong memories, and it's their first time.
Right, and that's how those Disney adults got started.
Exactly.
Because people gave them that opportunity when they were kids.
Yeah, there's actually, I have on the sheet today, there's actually a former Biden staffer who is getting kind of big on TikTok right now. And one of the things she's talking about is that places like Disneyland and other places that are theoretically for children, you have adults coming in and acting like adults in inappropriate ways in these child-centric spaces. For instance, you go to the beach with your family and it's supposed to be a family beach, but there's a bunch of ladies running around in like a thong swimsuit. People are saying, this is too much. Like, you should cover up more. There are kids here. It's just the polite thing to do. And then the counter argument to that is like, kids don't even pay attention to what people are wearing. They don't notice. They don't care.
This kid did.
Right. I should be able to wear whatever I want because it's a free country. And what this former staffer is saying is we have to claw back these spaces before we lose them forever. Like, if you just keep going down the road of, hey, it's my personal freedom and I can do whatever I want and your kid isn't ever my problem, it's going to be really hard to ever wrangle that back and have a family-friendly environment anywhere ever again.
Was there another Biden staffer that shot his girlfriend in the shower?
Yes, this is an absolutely crazy story. Let me get this guy's name. So ex-Biden staffer, he actually worked up until July of 2025. So he finished out his term with the Trump administration. And it looks like he was working in, I think, security, ironically. But he basically was dry firing his handgun in their apartment, inside of their apartment, while she was taking a shower and didn't realize, oh no, it's actually loaded. He claims he didn't know, and the bullet went through the wall and into his poor girlfriend's body, and she is no longer with us. Or I'm sorry, I don't know if he shot and killed her because he was acting like an idiot with his gun.
First of all, I'm sure I'd buy that. And second of all, shouldn't matter. I mean, if you're that stupid, that's good enough for me that you should go away as if you meant to do it.
Yeah, he could face up to 4 years in state prison, and
that's bull crap. He should face 40.
Well, this is like, even keeping in mind, the district attorney says, yeah, I mean, it looks like this is without any malice, but you can't be doing stuff like that. Yeah. And what I had written on the sheet was, it's hard to overstate how important gun knowledge and safety is. Like, I don't understand why me, as someone who doesn't even own a firearm, I seem to have more of an understanding of how careful you need to be with these firearms than a lot of firearm owners. Like, the reason I don't own a gun is because I realize I need to take some classes. I would just need to be completely locked down as far as handling it and knowing what to do with something that can do that much damage. But it seems like people just go like, oh yeah, I'll just dry fire it in my apartment. It'll be fine.
I have a take on this. One of my theories about modern life is that so much of what we do is cosplaying. We're just cosplaying. We don't really want to do something. We just want to cosplay it. Like, I think MAGA is cosplaying the 1776. they think of themselves as the same as like founding fathers, and they're doing the same things that we did in 1776, and they're not. And I think the liberal protesters are cosplaying like it's 1963 and it's the Civil Rights Act and it's, Selma and all that stuff. And I think a lot of them are cosplaying. I say that to say that when it comes to guns, for years and years, I represented gun stores and spent a lot of time there and got to know a lot of the people there. And there are different levels, but there's a very dangerous level, in my opinion. And that's guys who are cosplaying gun ownership. Like I am a pretty experienced motorcycle rider, but I'm exceedingly careful. I'm very aware of my limitations. Like when I was riding in the mountains, I'm not the best motorcycle rider, so I don't do things that are too dangerous. Same way with guns. I own guns. I've taken a lot of training with guns, and I am exceedingly careful. But there are a lot of people out there who get a little bit of knowledge, especially about guns. They think they're cool, but they don't really learn about them. But those are the people who, like, when their friends go over, they're like, let me show you my new gun.
Mm-hmm.
A real gun person probably doesn't do that because they are exceptionally careful.
Well, how many times do you see like, oh, it's the family Christmas photo and we're all posing with our weapons in front of the tree. And,
I find it ridiculous.
And they're not holding the firearm properly.
I find it ridiculous.
It's like, I guess you're pulling one over on people who don't know what they're doing, but
I said that years ago and had a lot of people mad at me. I don't like the sexy lady holding a long gun photo. Even if it's unloaded and if she knows what she's doing. I just think fetishizing guns or bringing them into your fun, they're very serious things. Even if you don't plan to go shoot up a QT, if it's just for your own home protection or hunting, they are very serious, dangerous things. I don't think they should be a part of like frivolous, hey, let's take photos.
Yeah.
So. But I might be alone in that.
I think so.
I think there are a lot of common sense people who agree. The thing is, common sense people don't typically have like a slogan or a particular need to like make a post and make a big stink. It's just they're just busy being reasonable and living their lives.
Tell you guys about my friends at Bethesda. As you know, that's where my mom passed away after living there for 4 or 5 months in their hospice program, which I'm now a part of. They've been around since 1889, more than 135 years. They are a not-for-profit. That's important because when they are looking at decisions at Bethesda, they have, lots of facilities and lots of apartment buildings. So they have very big financials to think about, but they never think about making a profit. Everything goes back into Bethesda to make it as affordable and as good as possible for the people who use our services. We have 7 different independent living apartments. They're beautiful. Kirkwood, Webster, South County, and Oakville, North County. And that's for people who are just completely, on their own or living with someone or, bring your pet. Right downtown, go get some coffee, go grocery shopping. We have assisted living and we have skilled nursing like where my mom was. It's very, very daunting when you're trying to make a decision for yourself or for your elderly loved one, mom, dad, grandma, grandpa. Reach out to my friend Michelle. She's been at Bethesda for 31 years. I like her a lot. She's very, very cool. Just go to BethesdaHealth.org. Hit the contact us button, complete the form, and someone will get back to you. If you want to talk to Michelle in particular, you can do that. BethesdaHealth.org.
Calling all runners. Register now for the Cardinals 5K on Saturday, April 18th. And you can take a victory lap on the field at Busch Stadium. Don't miss this chance to bring the whole family for a fun St. Louis 5K race that brings fans together to support kids in the community. The Cardinals 5K, Saturday, April 18th. Register now at cardinals.com/5K. And for more information, just head to KMOX.com/events. If you owe the IRS, you have a legal issue, and you need the Lance Drury Law Firm. We'll protect your rights. Log on at LanceDruryLaw.com.
There's a difference between liking a house and actually getting it. Redfin is built to make up that difference and close the gap between finding and owning the home for you. Redfin agents close twice as many deals as other agents. So when you find a home you love, you're not a step behind when it's time to make an offer. That means less watching great homes disappear and more focus on the ones you'll actually move into and call home. Redfin helps turn saved listings into real addresses. Get started at redfin.com. Own the dream.
A lot of people are getting their air conditioners tuned up and ready to go for the summer, and we're getting a lot of calls of people saying they want a second opinion, to have us come out and requesting us to come out there and take a look at their air conditioners. They've been told that they need a new one, and the repair is quite costly, and it might be best for them to replace the air conditioner and then repair it. If you're in that situation, please give me a call, because there is truly some opportunities here for you that we could save you lots of money, because I'm sure you're going to be shocked. We have the equipment that still works best for you with your budget. It's pretty much the best. Is what I would put in my home, is what I would recommend. Give me a call. It's Bart Inman. One easy number, the easiest number in Missouri and Illinois. That is 314-293-2600. Or the online thing, and that is bartinman.com. That's Bart with a B, Inman with an I.com. God bless.
Siteman Cancer Center Spotlight. Dr. Jean Wang, a WashU medicine gastroenterologist at Siteman Cancer Center.
Our young onset colorectal cancer center focuses on the problems that younger patients might have. And we pay attention to things like fertility, support with trying to manage childcare and caring for older parents during that time. It's a great resource for these younger patients.
Visit siteman.wustl.edu.
Welcome back, DGS on KMOX 151. Andrew is under the weather. We're hoping he'll be back tomorrow, but we have a short show, hopefully, because the Cardinals play, but it's going to rain, so we just don't know. I almost made a purchase last night, and I didn't. I aborted.
Oh?
I thought it was stupid. But, boy, I was ready to go. Of course, I had a couple Trazodone in me. I saw something that was just like, getting stuff from your childhood or your adolescence, which I don't need help with. I'm already obsessed with that. But I've talked to you guys. I was obsessed with my brother's class ring from Roxanne. I thought it was so cool. And then I got my own. And for about a week, I thought it was so cool. And I gave it to my girlfriend, Tammy. And she had it for about a week and thought it was so cool. And then she lost it. And so I've just never had a class ring. I didn't get one from WashU. And I looked up last night, how can you get a replica of your old? And there obviously are companies.
Oh, yeah.
And I built mine. Like you just go, okay, I want this, and I want this, and I want that, and put this on the side in 1982 and blah, 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 blah. And I was ready to buy it. And I'm like, am I really going to wear a class ring?
How much was it costing you?
It wasn't too bad because I got it made out of something that seems to just flake off within days.
Sure.
And it was like $293 for 24 karat gold. It was like thousands.
Yeah.
Thousands.
Yeah.
And I didn't want it that bad.
Right.
So I was just going to get a cheapie, but then I thought, it's kind of a dork thing. So
yeah, but
I don't know if
makes
it's a
you
dork
happy.
thing, but I understand why you're waffling. I get it.
Man, if I were you, I'd rather get the WashU.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just because it's like the prestige of Washington University. Because then it's like, yeah, somebody asks you about that ring. Yeah, no big deal.
Yeah.
I went to WashU. And I'm a lawyer. And I have a radio show.
I should just get a bunch of rings.
Yeah.
This is my Mr. Donut ring.
You should get a DGS ring.
Oh, DGS class ring.
25 years.
That's pretty good.
I'm not even kidding, dude. That's pretty
good.
excellent.
You should just order old class rings from high schools you've never heard of off of eBay and wear those.
Oh,
And
I would do it.
Why
just
do
be
we
like
only
a
get
conversation
those?
starter?
Why do we only get those for classes like for high school or college or when you win a championship or something? Why can't you just get them?
I want a KMOX
Like a
class ring.
DGS ring, a KMOX 100-year ring.
Yeah. Not too bad. I like those ideas.
Would you wear it?
Oh yeah, I would.
Probably. Did you guys see the Caroline Levitt photo kerfuffle?
No.
She took a picture with a turkey, and someone took it from beneath her, and I guess she looks a little chubby-faced and puffy. And while the war is going on and we're paying $5 for gas and all this stuff, she had a meltdown, which means that the White House had a meltdown. And now in that classic, I think it's called the Streisand effect, no one knew about this. And they tried to scrub it from the internet.
Oh.
And now, of course, it's on the front page of Drudge, and everyone's screenshotting it.
This is the thing, is nobody would have ever even sought this photo out if not for their hissy fits.
Yeah,
like the White House. And what's it? Hegseth's the same way. This is the problem with putting in, how should I say this? People that aren't qualified, but they fit a certain look. Because clearly the administration has a look of all the people around them that they prefer.
I'm going to cut her a break as far as being sensitive on this one because she is pregnant. So that might, I mean, she might just be feeling like, come on, guys. Like, this is so, I feel like this is such an unflattering photo. Can we please get rid of this? Like, I give her a little bit more grace in the situation, but oftentimes when you're on a hunt to like destroy, no one can see this. More people end up seeing it than before.
Yep.
I mean, just look, nobody looks perfect in every photo. Be a professional and deal with it. You're a public person. If you don't want unflattering photos accidentally out there, don't be a public person.
Tell you guys about Mike at Michael's Flooring. I have a Mike and Michael's Baths. This is my original Mike. This is Original Gets. He joined me. I started my show October 16th of 2000. He joined me in November of 2000. And we've been together pretty much every day since then. Like I said, last time I did a live for him, it's almost a tradition. If you're a DGS listener, to go to Michael's Flooring for your carpeting and your area rugs and your hardwood and your tile and your linoleum and pretty much everything. They have 3 locations. They're just flooring stores. I was telling someone the other night that, the other carpeting companies have tried to sell against me and Mike for decades by saying he's the cheapy guy and he buys used stuff in seconds. And none of that is true. Shaw, Coronet, Mohawk, they drop it off from the same truck that drops it off at Lowe's and Home Depot. We mark it up because that's what you do in America, but we mark it up less than anyone else. So it's going to cost you less than anywhere else. And we're very, very nice to DGS listeners. MichaelsFlooringoutlet.com.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. I've been asked many times how Morgan & Morgan became the largest injury firm in the world. I think I know. When someone comes to us for an on-the-job injury, we have a huge workers' compensation practice. But many times we find a defective product that was responsible for that injury. Luckily for them, we have a product liability section headed by my son, Mike. In addition to the comp case, there's a product case too. Other times, the injured worker is fired or harassed for bringing that claim. We have them covered. Our employment lawyers handle retaliation claims as well as wage theft and discrimination cases, and in some cases need to file for Social Security benefits. No problem. We became big for a reason. 30% of our new cases come as referrals from former clients. Hiring us is easy. Go to forthepeople.com on your mobile device or computer, or call Pound Law on your cell, pound 529. Morgan & Morgan. Injured? Dial Pound Law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Spring cleaning is upon us, but there's one meaningful box that you don't throw away when cleaning out your closet. It's the box filled with your family's important videotapes, film reels, and photos. Hi, I'm Adam Baselogger.
And I'm Nick Mako. We started Legacy Box over a decade ago to help families organize and update their analog media to digital.
Legacy Box is simple and easy. It works and is safe. Over 1 million families have trusted Legacy Box.
And Legacy Box has been featured in Good Housekeeping, The Today Show, and Rachel Ray.
Legacy Box is like magic, converting your shoebox of memories to the cloud or thumb drive, ready to watch and share.
Declutter your closet by digitizing your media. Become more organized and accomplished, knowing your family's recorded past is safe forever. Take advantage of our spring cleaning sale going on now. It's the easiest task to check off your to-do list.
For a limited time, you can get started for just $9 a tape. Visit legacybox.com/radio to get our $9 sale. That's legacybox.com/radio to get our $9 offer. Legacybox.com/radio.
Straight Realty has always been an industry leader when it comes to commissions. So it should come as no surprise that the recent Realtor settlement has only empowered us to continue offering our sellers even better rates. We now list homes for only 2%. Hi, I'm Christina Straight, owner of Straight Realty. Call me 314-441-4444. Why pay more than 2? You can also listen to my podcast on my website, straightrealty.com.
Commissions are not regulated and are negotiable. Straight Realty is a licensed broker in the state of Missouri.
Hey, Missouri, it's game time. Start betting like a pro with the world's largest sports book at your fingertips. Hi, I'm Derek Stevens. I'm a lifelong sports bettor, and I'm the owner of Circus Sports. It's sports betting the way it should be, with high limits, player-friendly pricing, exceptional customer service, and more. Download your new bookie at circusports.com. The action starts now, Missouri. Experience the difference with Circus Sports. Bet like a pro.
Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
The trusted voice of St. Louis. KMOX AM St. Louis. KMOX FM Hazelwood. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
At 2 o'clock, it is windy and 82 degrees downtown at the Arch. Charges are filed in yesterday's fabricated Amber Alert. Ashley Collins, 29, Kayla Williams, 31, both of Afton, charged with making a false report after investigators say they made up a story about a 5-year-old being taken along with a stolen Jeep. Collins faces an additional misusing 911 charge. The county prosecutor says the hoax tied up K-9 units, a helicopter, and drones for 5 hours. Both women remain jailed on $10,000 cash-only bonds. With gas prices now averaging more than $4 a gallon, the key to saving money may be your timing.
Gas Buddy has found in most states, Sunday is the cheapest day of the week to buy gas. Petroleum analyst Patrick DeHaan says that's because energy markets are closed over the weekend.
That gives stations some certainty over their cost. Over the weekend, it allows them to be more competitive, knowing that their cost is not going to suddenly shift.
Filling up on a Sunday may only save you $1 or $2, but over the course of a year,
if you're filling up on the right day of the week and if you're shopping around, this can add up to hundreds of dollars.
Michael Wallace, CBS News.
The U.S. has attacked an Iranian nuclear site while Tehran hits an oil tanker off the Dubai coast.
The U.S. hit the central Iranian city of Isfahan early Tuesday, sending a massive fireball into the sky, and Tehran struck a fully loaded Kuwaiti oil tanker in the Persian Gulf. The attacks are a testament to the intensity of the month-long war the U.S. and Israel launched against Iran, which has maintained its chokehold on the Strait of Hormuz, closing off the vital waterway for global energy shipments and sending oil prices rocketing and roiling world markets. Meanwhile, Israel says another 4 soldiers have been killed in its invasion of Lebanon, as were 2 more United Nations peacekeepers, prompting the UN Security Council to schedule an emergency session for late Tuesday. I'm Charles de Ledesma.
1,000 letters in opposition sent to the St. Charles County Council about the ICE enforcement bill.
Despite that, the council unanimously passed the measure, with County Executive Steve Ellman saying it's nothing new.
This is something we've already been doing, and this will simply allow us to do it better. Additional training will be provided for up to 10 of our officers. We've selected 4 of them already.
Ellman says on any given day, they have 20 to 30 undocumented immigrants in their jail, and they call ICE as required. He says it costs taxpayers $118 per day to house them in the jail. Debbie Monterey, KMOX News.
From the business desk, a labor studies analyst says people don't need to rethink how they approach their career because of AI. Instead, he says they have to evolve with the technology.
I don't think we need to rethink it. I think we need to, refresh it.
Labor studies coordinator for the University of Missouri System, Doug Swanson, tells MissouriNet businesses and employers who are the most effective at preparing people for the workforce are constantly embracing and evolving with tech.
It's the businesses and others that are wanting to stay the way it is that suffer. If you're not willing to change, you have to decide when you're going to go out of business.
Swanson says it's the same for individuals in the workforce, and if they evolve, they'll make it too. The Dow from Stifel's up 1,054 points to 46,270.
Windy and warm going through our Tuesday afternoon, partly sunny skies, but there is a chance of a spot shower or thunder shower later on in the afternoon, late afternoon. 86 for the high, close to the record of 87. Tonight, periods of rain developing, a couple of thunderstorms, 60. We're going into a kind of a stagnant, unsettled weather pattern. Wednesday, periods of rain, a couple of thunderstorms, 75. Much the same Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, but we should dry out in time for Easter Sunday. From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Dave Murray on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Sponsored by Artistic Decks. We've got 82 downtown at the Arch. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
Ready to hit a home run with your backyard? Call Artistic Decks. We're celebrating 25 years of A-plus service with massive rollback pricing. Get a professional custom-built deck for less. Hit it out of the park with Artistic Decks. Call 314-280-0821 today.
The Dave Glover Show is sponsored by the Michaels Flooring Outlet, the flooring experts. IGotFloored.com.
Welcome back, DGS on KMOX. One of my favorite intros of all time, Little Guitars on Diver Down by Van Halen. You know who knows that album backwards and forwards? Brad Young.
Oh, I bet. I do too. It's a great album.
Isn't that one of the greatest drum intros, Brad?
It helps if I turn on the pot that Brad is on.
Brad's
Hello,
answering
Brad.
and he's like, nobody's hearing me.
Well, yeah, it feels like I'm at home with my wife. No. that is, I shouldn't have said
Tell her you said that.
Yeah, great. So I'm sorry, Dave. What'd you say?
Little Guitars on Diver Down, one of the best drum intros of all time.
Oh, no question about it. No question about that.
That's such an underrated album, too. To me, that's like one of the best ones.
I loved it when I started playing drums, stuff like that, stuff like AC/DC, because it's really cool, but you can play it after you've been playing for like 6 months.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, you can play all that stuff.
You can, but the problem is this. This is the problem I always had. Whenever I would hear like Alex Van Halen, the way his drums sounded, and I could never get my drums to sound like that. And because obviously they got better equipment, they've got better sound equipment, they know how to make it sound like that classic, long-haired drummer banging out rock and roll sound. And then I was just always messing with my drums to get them to sound that way, and I just never could do it.
Yeah, I had the cheapest drum set in the world. Oh my God. It was like a Neil Peart drum set. It was that big, but not one drum matched the other. And I had bongos as my little toms. It was quite a travesty. Okay, let's talk about some cases. Let's start with the Supreme Court's 8-1. That's surprising. Decision on conversion therapy. This is really interesting.
Yeah, and I need to set the table a little bit on what conversion therapy is. Conversion therapy is when parents send their children because their children have identified maybe as a different gender, other than their birth gender, and so parents send them to a therapist. Colorado banned that. And so the issue becomes, just like all of these prior cases out of Colorado, whether it was the cake baker case, there was actually 2 of those, and the website designer who said, I'm not going to design a website for gay marriages because it conflicts with my faith. This is yet another in that list of cases that go up to the Supreme Court where Colorado is trying to squelch free speech because they don't like it. And this Supreme Court decision, 8-1, I mean, that's pretty much as good as you can get, basically came down hard on Colorado, saying, we know you don't like this speech, but it's free speech, and the First Amendment guarantees it, even if you don't like it, and they overturned it 8-1.
So I'm guessing, I'm wondering what the arguments were in favor of this, and I'm guessing it's sort of a, hey, this is no longer the Middle Ages. Gay people are out there. It's legal to be gay. It's legal to be gay and get married. So we don't need therapists trying to talk people out of being gay.
Well, that's a majority of it. But from a strict legal argument, I mean, you're not going to put that into a legal argument, but that's good for policy. But the legal argument, the only dissenter was Ketanji Brown Jackson. Her point was states are traditionally allowed to regulate medical care. That's not a function of the federal government. It's a state function. And so since medical care is a state function, even if it involves free speech, the state should be allowed to dictate how and under what methods medical providers, even if it's just talk therapy, we're not talking about using drugs or anything else, but the state should be allowed to dictate exactly how that happens. But obviously, Jackson was in the enormous minority on that opinion.
Go ahead, Rich.
Yeah, Brad, just to drill down on this a little bit more. So Kaylee Childs was one of the people speaking up, saying that the ban makes it hard for parents to find therapists willing to discuss gender identity with kids unless the counseling affirms transition. So if I'm interpreting that correctly, a lot of this does come down to the transgender issue and whether parents should be able to find a therapist for their kid that isn't necessarily going to affirm their gender identity during that therapy.
Well, that's a big part of it. I mean, look at how this would play out. Let's assume the opposite, that the Supreme Court upheld this. Then you would have therapists in a situation of saying, I don't know what I can or can't say. And if I say the wrong thing in a session, I could go to jail for this. So how about I just don't even do this kind of work at all because I don't want to risk being thrown in jail for saying the wrong thing. I mean, that would have been a natural ramifications if the court would have upheld this. And thankfully they didn't, because any squelching of free speech, I don't care what it says, one way or the other, any of that is in direct violation of the First Amendment.
Brad, I know this is not an apples to apples analogy because I can't think of one, but what if someone had a young person who was in an interracial relationship and they were against it, and white people should stay with white people and so on and so forth, and I'm taking you to a therapist who's going to dissuade you of this, something reprehensible, but would that be free speech?
It would be, even if you disagree with it. I mean, one of the things that's in all of the hate speech cases that go up to the Supreme Court over and over, there's tons of these cases, and the court always says the same thing. Hate speech, we may not like it, but hate speech is protected under the First Amendment. And the courts have also gone to great lengths at saying that acceptable speech doesn't need government protection. It's really only that speech that maybe the country views as vile or reprehensible that the courts have to protect that speech. They don't have to protect the popular speech because everyone agrees with it. So in this instance, and I'm not suggesting what the counselors are doing in Colorado, conversion therapy is vile in any way. I mean, you can have your own opinion on that. I'm not saying one way or the other. What I'm saying is that if it's speech, you cannot control the content of speech based upon the content, regardless of what that content is. And the greatest example comes out of Illinois in the 1970s, where the KKK wanted to do have a rally in a town in Illinois that's predominantly Jewish, and Illinois said you can't do that. And the ACLU actually represented the KKK and said, yeah, we think that their beliefs are vile and reprehensible, but they are entitled to protection under the First Amendment.
Go ahead, Reg.
It's just so interesting because, like, the example you use, Brad, it's like, okay, this makes sense. However, in this case, Colorado was arguing that because therapy is different from other types of speech, it's a form of healthcare that the state has a responsibility to regulate. I'm not saying I know the answer to this. I'm just saying it seems incredibly complicated the deeper you go into this.
It is complicated, but when you boil it all down, I think the fact that the Supreme Court ruled 8-1 shows that there was vast agreement, even though you've got people who are completely politically different, but you had vast agreement that said it's still speech, and we don't want the state controlling the content of people's speech, or conversely, we don't want the state telling people you can or cannot say this based upon the content of that speech. And that, at the end of the day, that's what this was.
Would I'm not sure this is even a good question, Brad. So feel free to punch me. But
I will.
would this apply if this was a physical form of medication? In other words, we're not talking about psychological. We're talking about healing the body. We're talking about so in other words, if somebody said,
I have a pill that'll make you not stop being gay.
Or just hey, listen, you don't need medicine. You just need to pray. You don't need medicine. You just need spiritual help in some way, ayahuasca, whatever. Is that at all analogous? Or is it because this is psychological that it comes down to speech versus what we would think of as more of a physical thing, even though we now know that, nothing involved is really a choice?
Well, this would all. Well, first of all, I'm not sure that I agree with your last statement. I think the jury's still out on whether it is or is not a choice.
Yeah, I don't think it is.
Well, I don't. I'm not saying it isn't. I'm saying the jury's out, and the way that I reach that decision is you have some people who transition and then want to transition back, or say that they're gay and then they say they're not gay, and that demonstrates clearly a choice in one direction or the other.
Well, there's a choice in action, maybe.
It's a choice in action, but let's go back to the issue. This would apply to any speech on this case. So if a counselor said, we want you to pray, and the state said you can't do that, this would fall under that category. Now, as Dave mentioned, though, it does not fall under if all of a sudden somebody said, if you take ivermectin, it's going to make you not be gay. This wouldn't apply to that at all, because now you're going from speech to medication, and this is strictly a free speech issue.
It's really interesting.
It is. It's like the more you think about, the more you go through it, you're like, oh, there's another question, and there's another question.
Like, so if I can talk you out of being gay, that's cool. But if I tell you a certain substance will make you straight, that's not.
Well, I'm not sure it would follow that, because if let's say, again, hypothetical, if I'm a counselor in Colorado and I'm saying, if you go and smoke peyote, it's going to stop you from being gay. I'm still telling you what to do. I'm not prescribing it. I'm not giving it to you. I'm not injecting it to you. I'm simply telling you, smoke peyote and you won't be gay, or you won't be trans. That would still be speech. And
even if it causes harm?
Even if it causes harm. Now, see, that's what I don't know how that would fall under here. And that's why this is such
because
a
medicines
great
and all
topic
these
to
things
discuss.
are regulated on purpose. But you're right. This is like
True.
a rabbit hole. Every step
is
leads
a rabbit
to another
hole.
one. Yeah.
That's why I love this as a topic to discuss, because it at some point it shows you the limits of cases. Now, the court here would say, we're not addressing any of those rabbit hole issues. We're only addressing what's right before us. But it does raise a question. If a counselor said, I want you to go take ivermectin, I'm not gonna give you a script for it. Would that fall under this or not? Boy, I would say it doesn't, because you're again recommending drugs as opposed to simply talking. If I said take ibuprofen and you won't be gay, ibuprofen isn't regulated in any way. That may be protected speech, since anyone can go buy ibuprofen over the counter. Again, lots of application questions here that are just simply unanswerable.
Brad, what protections, if any, would children have? Let's say there's a 14 or 15-year-old kid in Colorado who's gay, and his parents are against that, and they take him to a counselor for conversion therapy, and he wants no part of it. It's upsetting to him. It's damaging to him. He knows who he or she is. Are there any like guardian ad litems? Is there anything that a minor can do?
Yeah, I think in that circumstance, a child could actually hire an attorney and go to court under the auspices of the argument that I believe that my parents are trying to harm me, and therefore I need what you said, a guardian ad litem, which is a fancy way of saying a court-appointed representative for a minor to say, I don't want to go through this. Now, if you apply criminal law to this, a child could say, I'm being held against my will, and under the law, that's false imprisonment, and so I'm being essentially imprisoned here because I can't leave. There's lots of remedies that a kid would have in that circumstance.
So, I guess maybe what we're figuring is if everything that's happening is done with everyone being okay with it. In other words, even the person who's in therapy is like, hey, fine, we'll talk. It's fine. Versus being forced to do something against your will.
Yeah, I think at that point, though, the child would have to go to court in that circumstance. In other words, if the child is saying, I don't want to be here, I don't want to go through this, and you're holding me here against my will, I think the only recourse would be for the child to actually go to court and either say, I'm being falsely imprisoned, or that I need a guardian ad litem appointed here because my health and well-being is at stake. I think that would be the only recourse.
Well, I mean, don't you think that's a hardship that would be insurmountable for a lot of children? Like what 12-year-old, 13-year-old is going to be like, okay, so I need to go to court. So the first thing, I need to get a lawyer. I need to, like, most of them, I would think, in that state of mind would just be like, this is terrible. I can't leave. I guess I'm stuck here.
True. And that's the reality of what probably would happen. You're absolutely right, Rachel.
This is what law school is like.
Yeah, I mean, this.
It is.
And it's a fascinating case because of the way the court ruled, too. This wasn't split.
Yeah.
8-1's pretty decisive. Mm-hmm. And it crosses party, I don't want to say party lines, but ideological lines.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right,
well, I love con law, and I'll wrap this up in a second. I love con law because we were discussing the flag burning case within a year of the Supreme Court ruling on that. And we had exactly these types of debates, and it was lots of fun.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
My pleasure.
Have you had a chance to get down with FanDuel yet? No? Well, if you haven't, this is a perfect time of the year to do so because you've got baseball happening, hockey's going on, professional basketball, you name it, it is going on, and FanDuel has the best action available. And right now, new FanDuel customers can get up to $300 back in bonus bets every day for 10 days. This is how it works. Place any bet with FanDuel using your Bet Reset token, and if it doesn't win, you're going to get up to $300 back in bonus bets every single day for 10 straight days. Go to FanDuel.com/Missouri to sign up today. FanDuel, play your game. Must be 21 or over and present in Missouri. Bonus bets are non-withdrawable and expire 7 days after receipt. Tokens are received in increments of 1 per day. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Have you ever felt like you were living just a B or B+ life? It's so dangerous to live that, more dangerous than a B- or a C+ life, because when you're living a B or B+ life, you don't change it. You think it's good enough. Is it? I'm Susie Welch. I host a podcast called Becoming You. People think, okay, an A+ life is not available to me, but there is a way. We are all in the process of becoming our
amyloidosis, a serious heart condition with symptoms that get worse over time. Amvuttra, vutrisiran, is a prescription medicine given by a healthcare provider that treats ATTR-CM in adults to reduce heart-related death, hospital stays, and urgent visits. In a clinical study, Amvuttra was proven to help people live longer and have fewer heart-related hospital stays and urgent visits over 3 years compared to placebo. Amvuttra lowers the amount of vitamin A in your blood, which can affect vision. Other side effects include pain in the arms or legs, pain in the joints, and shortness of breath. These are not all the possible side effects of Amvuttra. For prescribing information, call 1-833-256-2748 or learn more at amvuttra.com. Ask your doctor about Amvuttra for ATTR-CM.
In 1991, John and Cindy Morelli started Morelli Tuck Pointing. As of today, they've won just about every award possible for the tuck pointing business. The BBB Torch Award, the Next Door Neighborhood Fave Award, and an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau. For homeowners, this is a great time to get a free inspection of your basement, your brick or stone fireplace, your garage interior, your porch, and maybe even your walkway. Indoor tuck pointing can be started now. Hi, this is Charlie Brennan. My wife Beth and I have used Morelli Tuck Pointing to work on 2 of our homes now over the last 25 years. We have found the Morelli bids to be fair. Their crews are very polite and they clean up after themselves. But most importantly, their work is beautiful. Family owned and operated since 1991. 314-645-1387, MorelliTuckPointing.com.
Want to build income without a second job? Learn how real estate investing can help you create extra income one step at a time with Lifestyles Unlimited. Text radio to 88007. That's RADIO to 88007. Presented by Lifestyles Unlimited.
If you owe the IRS, you have a legal issue, and you need the Lance Drury Law Firm. We'll protect your rights. Log on at LanceDruryLaw.com.
One city, one voice. KMOX, the voice of St. Louis.
Welcome back, DGS 424. 224. Noi.
Oh, man.
Yeah, sorry about
424.
that.
What are you doing?
Kristi Noem having a rough day.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys have seen this. And Wheels were just kind of telling us how it may have come about. But Kristi Noem, got fired and lots of allegations of her and Corey Lewandowski, having an affair.
But
And-
fired, we think, because of the blowback
Yes.
from how things were going on
Yes.
the job, right?
And then her long-suffering husband, whose family said Kristi Noem is terrible and she's ruined
I
our
didn't know
family.
this.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Said she's an awful person. She's ruined our family. She's been abusive to our, young boy. He's been outed as being a cross-dresser. I'm using the word that was in the article.
That's the way it was reported, yes.
And can you explain how it kind of came about?
Well, yeah. This is so there's the story that was reported by the Daily Mail. I think I saw it on the New York Post too. So,
Yeah.
but that's where the original story is from. But there's a reporter named Mark Caputo who works for Axios, covers the White House. He tweeted today, and it was not that long ago today, about how he got a text from a source in February saying they had a weird lead on something. And the story that this reporter was told was an immigrant sex worker, and I'm just reading the guy's tweet. This is what it says. He says that an immigrant sex worker, possibly in the country illegally, wanted to go public about Noem's husband using her services. So this is the sex worker services online, and it was as vengeance for how DHS was operating. That was the story that this reporter says was brought to him. He didn't end up getting the interview, getting the story. Obviously, Daily Mail was the one that did. But it is, and then he was pointing it out, basically saying, look, man, sometimes we reporters get stories in weird ways that you don't expect.
Turn out to be true.
And you have to run them down, right? You don't just get it and go, hey, I heard this. You have to do the interviews, verify information, do all of that, and then it's a story.
I'm very excited about Artemis, which is supposed to launch tomorrow, I believe.
Don't let anything ruin it.
Has a 6-day launch window.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe Megan had someone on earlier today, and they were describing that a lot of it's weather. The cloud comes by, they cancel it. But then there's also this is one of the first times we've done this. And this is a practice run at landing on the moon. So if there's anything the least bit wrong, they're going to shut it down. But maybe this is it. I'm excited. I think it's very cool.
It's very cool.
Boy, my mom hated space exploration.
And I understand what people like. I understand the objections, but I also think the innovation is required. When do we do our best innovation? When do we do our best work? It's when you have a major challenge to overcome, right? I mean, some of that was the Cold War, as an example. Some of that it was the space race with Russia to get there first, even if it wasn't as noble as it was portrayed, even if it was just, hey, this is military, man, we can't get beat into space. That's because that's pretty much what it was that motivated it.
I'm sorry. What was your mom's main beef with exploring space?
Waste of time.
Waste of time.
We have enough problems here on the planet Earth.
Wait, that's valid. That's a valid opinion to have for sure.
It is, except and it's not that it makes it wrong. The balance to it is, though, think of the discoveries that have come from that pursuit. You know, the way that engineering is run, you're solving complex problems that can then be used for other things. And I don't mean just like Velcro, which is one of those things.
Your ride home just got a lot less of this and a lot more of this.
The 3-2 pitch with the runner going, a swing and a high fly ball. Deep left field, and it's a gunner.
Kevin Wheeler, Matt Pauley, Bernie Miklasz. 3 voices, 1 hour. All Cardinals. The Redbird Rush Hour delivers.
Sponsored by Busey Bank. Building community with Busey Bank. Beyond the game.
The Redbird Rush Hour. Weeknights at 5 on the voice of the Cardinals. KMOX.
100 years. That's how long Overhead Door Company of St. Louis has been repairing and replacing garage doors. A century of trust in St. Louis. Always look for the iconic red ribbon of Overhead Door Company of St. Louis for same-day repair service and no extra charge for evening or Saturday service. Trust your friends at Overhead Door Company of St. Louis. Schedule online at overheaddoorsstlouis.com. That's overheaddoorsstlouis.com.
It's time for Dave Murray's weather forecast, sponsored by Sandberg Phoenix Law Firm.
More like summer than the last day of March. That's called partly sunny, windy, and warm. We'll keep a chance of a spot shower, a thunder shower, primarily late this afternoon. 86 for the high. The record is 87, so we're going to be close to that again. A good way to wrap up March. Tonight, periods of rain, a couple of thunderstorms, 60 degrees. Wednesday, periods of rain, a couple of thunderstorms, 75. That's the unsettled pattern Wednesday night, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Sunday, Easter Sunday, partly to mostly sunny. I'll keep a chance of a spot shower, but I think much of Easter is rain-free. It's cooler, 58. From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Dave Murray on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Sandberg Phoenix serves your business in litigation, intellectual property, and products liability. We're more than a law firm. We're committed to your success. Learn more at sandbergphoenix.com. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertising.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance tech at a university, he knows ordering from multiple suppliers takes time away from keeping their arena up and running. That's why he counts on Grainger to get everything he needs, from lighting and HVAC parts to plumbing supplies, all in one place. And with fast, dependable delivery, he's stocked and ready for the next tip-off. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
There's a difference between liking a house and actually getting it. Redfin is built to make up that difference and close the gap between finding and owning the home for you. Redfin agents close twice as many deals as other agents, so when you find a home you love, you're not a step behind when it's time to make an offer. That means less watching great homes disappear and more focus on the ones you'll actually move into and call home. Redfin helps turn saved listings into real addresses. Get started at redfin.com. Own the dream.
I'm Piera Palazzolo, VP of Digital Marketing for the American Management Association, a company focused on the management training skills needed to enhance the careers of business professionals. We did our research when it came to the best companies for website development and chose AmericanEagle.com. And we couldn't be happier. AmericanEagle.com worked closely with us to understand the front and back end requirements needed to launch an e-commerce website that could handle the complexities of running thousands of seminars nationwide. Our robust new website and improved SEO saw immediate increases in site traffic and web revenue. If you're in need of managerial effectiveness and success, visit our website at amanet.org. If you're in need of a website that provides an unparalleled consumer experience, I highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Transform your business today. Dial 877-WebNow1 for a free digital consultation with AmericanEagle.com.
Inflation is squeezing budgets, and global events can shake markets overnight. If you're close to retirement, this is not the time for, gee, I hope this works out. That's why Steve All and the team at the All Financial Group are hosting an upcoming educational seminar called Retirement Simplified, April 7th at the All Financial Group offices. You'll learn how to deal with rising costs, taxes, crazy markets, and the fear of running out of money. The date again is April the 7th. It's complimentary, but you must reserve a seat. 636-230-8824 or at yourmoneymattersstl.com. Investment advisory products and services made available through Impact Partnership Wealth, LLC, IPW, or registered investment advisor. Neither the firm nor its agents or representatives may give tax or legal advice. Individuals should consult with a qualified professional for guidance before making any purchasing decisions. The All Financial Group is not affiliated with nor endorsed by the U.S. government or any other government agency.
Tonight,
the Cards, the Mets.
Everett Total Access 550. First pitch 6:45.
Cardinals Radio, 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Our conversation with Ricky Horton is sponsored by Rawlings. Visit the Rawlings Experience at Westport.
Welcome back, guys. DGS on KMOX. Time to talk to our pal Ricky Horton. Rick, how the hell are you?
I'm doing great. I bet you guys really missed me all winter, didn't you?
We did,
absolutely.
Dude. We would talk about it all the time.
You didn't
It's
get
like,
all my
Yeah,
calls?
likewise. I missed it too. I mean, it's great to be talking baseball again. It's great to be going towards a spring and a new beginning and all that fun stuff. So, yeah, no, it's good to be back at it.
So before we launch into the new Cardinal season, I just wanted to thank you in front of everyone in the audience for inviting me to play golf and Jupiter and just being so kind to me and introducing me to my new bestest friend, John Tudor, whose ball I hit twice.
I'm glad you brought that up. I probably wouldn't have said it, but yes, it happened. Yes, and he was very gracious about that too, and it happens. You know what that means, Dave? That you and he were hitting the ball in the same spot all the time.
That's
so
right.
That's good.
That's right. How much fun was that? That was so great. I had such a great time.
And I appreciate your sentiment. And yeah, it was a great time. And it's one of the fun things about this game is a lot of players and coaches and everybody. Golf is kind of a thing because when you get an off day and you can connect in a way where you're still doing something athletic, but it's less stressful than what you do for a living. Golf is a great outlet for me personally, and fun to connect with people and ride the cart with them and just kind of talk about nonsense, and that's what we did.
Also, having gone to spring training for my first time at the ripe old age of 61, I have to say, don't wait on it. It's so much more fun than you even think it's going to be. It's like just miniaturized Busch Stadium, like you're watching a pro team in a college ballpark. It's really cool.
Yeah, and with less stress, with more openness, with more freedom, with more players, with more promise, with more hope, and it really is special. I say that all the time, but I feel like you almost think that people think I have to say that, but it is a fact. And I also say if you get a chance to go to the backfields, and I don't think you got a chance to do that, did you? To see some of the minor league guys maybe weren't there yet, but that too is an awesome experience because you're watching 4 games at once. You're watching like a kids travel tournament, except these kids aren't travel players. They're people who are drafted by the St. Louis Cardinals and are hoping to get to the big leagues, and that's pretty fun too.
So just take it away. I mean, we're 4 games in, playing 500. Yeah. The first 3 games were all very exciting. People love the vibe and the energy. What are you thinking?
Well, I mean, the 2 main things that have happened since the season started is all of a sudden the Cardinals are hitting because they weren't in spring training, and the relievers weren't as good as they were in spring training either. So it's kind of like, sometimes you say spring training is fool's gold, but also you could say that about the first few games of a season. It doesn't mean that the Cardinals bullpen isn't going to be good. I think they will be good, but they just got off to a rough start. And, the hitting's got to level out too. But, man, it's a fun team, though. I mean, that's my favorite thing about this group is, Ali tells us every day, he says that, we don't really have a team leader because they're all young. They're all the same age. They're the youngest team in baseball. The Cardinals are the youngest team in baseball. And, there's no real leader. And Ali said, maybe that's okay. Just let them kind of support each other and build a culture of just being good teammates. And I think they kind of have that. And they also have a lot of energy. They have freedom to be expressive as a young player. And if you're around a lot of old players, you're always looking over your shoulder thinking, I'm not sure I should do this. Maybe I shouldn't say this. Maybe I shouldn't celebrate in this way. But it's kind of good to have the young players just have the freedom to do that.
Rick, you mentioned the bullpen, and every person I know that ever worked as a reliever will identify with what I'm about to ask you about. But when some of those guys get off to the bad start, right? Like a Matt Swanson has a couple of bad games. He had games just as bad as that last year, where he'd give up 3 or 4 runs. But when it happens in June, you've had 10 other games, 12 other games before that where you're fine. And I looked up one of them. He had a bad one. I think it was in July last year, like what we just saw. And then gave up like 3 runs the rest of the year or 4 runs the rest of the year, right? So, like, how do you guys deal with that looking up? Because you know that you're not that, but the number is going to be bad for a while.
So the only problem when you're a pitcher, Kevin, and you've been around enough of them to know the psyche of one, it's kind of like in your mind you think, I got to be really good for 2 months now because so that
you had one bad game,
rather, obviously you'd rather start out good, but clearly he's capable of doing that. Swanson is, and he was lights out most of the year, and he can do just that. But it's frustrating. But one thing about Swanson in particular is he's as even keeled a guy as they have in their bullpen. He's kind of just not an up and down guy, and I don't think there's going to be any problem with him, figuring out a way to just kind of stay level and hit the strike zone. The biggest problem is he's not throwing strike one, and I think he can rectify that.
Yeah. It's a fascinating thing. And the same is true, by the way, on the opposite side. I said the other day, Ricky, that I thought it was great that opening day was as exciting as it was. And of course, the day 2 was too, because
oh my goodness,
having that positive feel right out of the gate is a good thing, because you can see potential. You can see what there might be to look forward to, as opposed to like a couple of 3, 4, 5 bad ones to start the year. That same potential's still there, but you don't see it. But getting to see it, I think, is helpful.
Yes, and I think the fact that it started off so well, I think that led to a pretty high walk-up for the crowd on Sunday, which, that's a big, higher than they thought. So I feel like there's a lot of good vibes going on right now. And, I think honestly, and people can think what they want. I'm not saying they should think this way or not, but reading the TVs on opening day, one of the biggest round of applause was for Chaim Bloom. Now, you might say that was a little bit of a Bronx cheer kind of moment because they just wanted something new. But I feel like his messaging has been very clear, and maybe the Cardinal fan base is saying, okay, we're not going to punish you anymore. We're going to come out and support our Cardinals, and that's the vibe that we had on opening day.
Yeah,
complete with the Clydesdales, with curtain calls, with a fun game, with a lot of energy from the players. I mean, it was just an outstanding day.
All right, buddy. Well, reunited, and it feels so good. Here we go, another season in the sun. So it's great to talk to you. We'll see you.
There were just 2 songs you just alluded to there. You had Terry Jackson. I forgot who the first. You have music in your brain, don't you?
This is why I love this man. He just gets me.
He completes you.
He does. He had me at hello. Thank you, Rick.
Great to be with you guys. Yeah, you bet.
Cardinals fans, this is Ricky Horton. Have you ever had a dream of meeting your favorite former Cardinals? You can make those dreams come true all season long with St. Louis Cardinals alumni experiences. You can join me and other former Cardinals players at events including Cardinals Conversations, Fans at Bat, Turn 2 with Ozzy, Cardinals Kids Clinics, and Cardinals Fantasy Camps. Don't miss your chance to make lifelong memories. Visit cardinals.com/alumni for more information.
If you're craving baseball conversations about your favorite players, alumni, and franchise memories, you'll love that Cardinals Magazine is dedicated to the stories that matter most to you. From Gold Gloves to championship rings, from the Wizard and Willie to Albert, Yachty, Uncle Charlie, and well beyond. Their careers define our pages. Treat yourself or a friend to a subscription today at cardinals.com/magazine. Cardinals Magazine, past, present, and future, it's all here.
I know you guys have a bank. I have a bank too. But if you would like a cooler institution that says yes way more often, that's a credit union. And my credit union is First Missouri Credit Union. 2 locations down on Lee May Ferry. Before you say no because you live in Darden Prairie or Litchfield, Illinois, whatever it is, the credit unions, all of them, have this amazing network where you can use pretty much any of them. So if you want to get 4.27% on your checking account, which other credit unions don't have, just make one trip down south to Lee May Ferry, open up a checking account and a savings account, maybe do whatever you want to do, obviously. And then you can do your transactions anywhere, even, closer to your home. Again, very cool, very nice, very professional. Great interest rates on loans, great interest rates on your checking account and savings account. 314-544-5050 or the number 1 stmocu.org.
Calling all runners. Register now for the Cardinals 5K on Saturday, April 18th. And you can take a victory lap on the field at Busch Stadium. Don't miss this chance to bring the whole family for a fun St. Louis 5K race that brings fans together to support kids in the community. The Cardinals 5K, Saturday, April 18th. Register now at cardinals.com/5K. And for more information, just head to KMOX.com/events.
When you're injured on the job, you need more than just a workers' comp lawyer. When you need a fighter, you need us. Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm, for the people. Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Okay, I have some really good news. While we do have the 0% a lot, we do have it on our regular products because you will be unbelievably shocked, especially if you call me and I'll give you the straight up scoop on how much money you can actually save by if you spent $20,000 versus $10,000 on a system. The difference could be as little as, I don't know, let's just say, not to exaggerate, 5 cents. So be careful out there, and always remember your energy savings is based on your house. It is not based on the equipment. So common sense advice and help and guidance. Again, call me, Bart Inman, one easy number, Missouri and Illinois. The easiest, 314-293-2600. Again, one easy number, Missouri and Illinois, 314-293-2600. Or on the internet, that is bartinman.com. That is Bart with a B, Inman with an I.com. God bless.
Welcome back, guys. DGS on KMOX. 246. Happy Tuesday. My friend Michelle Glass is here. She is one of the leaders at Bethesda. Been there for 31 years. And we had a meeting the other day at Bethesda. And you and I are probably the only radio guy and client who cry during their meetings.
Yeah,
but we cried a few times, right?
We did.
Yeah.
We teared up and
Get right up on that mic. There you go. Make sure people hear you.
teared up, had the moments.
I know.
That's what we do.
We're just emotional people.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm just going to kind of throw it to you because you were telling me things I didn't know about Bethesda, and I think they're important. So hit on a few of those topics that we talked about. I'll try not to cry.
Okay, so history-wise about Bethesda?
Yeah, anything you want to tell us.
So we're local not-for-profit, which I think most people know. We were founded in 1889, which to me is a fun fact.
Mhm.
And I told you the thing that I got a kick out of was realizing at one point that we were older than the Kentucky Derby.
Nice.
Which cracks me up. And
Mhm.
looking at your sign behind you for KMOX, we're older than KMOX.
Yeah.
So there you go. We serve seniors exclusively, regardless of their ability to pay. We have a program that supports them aging in place, connect a lot with the community. We have long-standing leadership. Our president and CEO is in his 36th, I believe, year with Bethesda. A lot of our leadership team is 10, 15, 20 plus years with Bethesda.
And you have everything from home health care to apartments, to the apartment buildings that I saw, to assisted living, to skilled nursing like my mom at Dilworth. Like you really have the whole spectrum.
100%.
And what we were talking about and commiserating about, having just gone through this a year and a half ago, like when my mom fell, unexpected, no one plans to fall. And next thing I know, they're handing me a piece of paper with a list of facilities with little stars next to them. And they're like, I don't know. But they're like, we're going to take her somewhere in 24 hours.
Right.
Okay. And I've been encouraging people to reach out to you, maybe even personally, to help with that transition.
Sure. Yeah. So when you have somebody in an unexpected situation like your mom, you're exactly right. They're in the hospital and guess what? They have to go to rehab. They can't go home. Make your decision. The only tool you have is that piece of paper and a star rating, which it's paper and it's a star rating. I encourage people to visit the community. We were talking about when your dad went to the community he was in, and what you saw on paper and what you experienced when you walk in the door did not align. And so to the degree that you are able to do personal visit, for sure, make a phone call, ask some people, look on Facebook and, see if they have a presence. If you get in there and it doesn't look right or feel right, move. You don't have to stay if you're not happy or you feel uncomfortable. One of the things that I hear most about people experiencing with Bethesda is they feel like they're home. They feel a sense of commitment or security or whatever that intangible feeling is. If you don't have that, you need to look for the place that you do.
Yeah. When I went to the apartment buildings, the independent living, every single one of them, at least one person, usually two or three, who lived there would come up to me and say, "This is the greatest place. These are the nicest people." And my first thought is, crap, they think I'm moving in. And my second thought is, boy, we have these people scared to death. And then thirdly, I'm like, how nice. It's so nice that they would want someone else to know you're safe here.
Yeah, they absolutely do. And the residents are very proud of where they live. And they refer their friends. Word of mouth is huge for us. And you can't put a price on that. I can spend all kinds of advertising dollars, but
which I think is important.
100%, right? It's kind of over here.
I think it's important.
Your friend Sally, who tells you that living at, Bethesda Terrace in Oakville is a great place to live and wants you to be her neighbor, that sells more than anything else that we can do. Yeah. And when people come in to visit or they come for a tour or wander in because they're lost, which happens, and they get the warm fuzzies or they get the greeting and the eye contact, that's so important.
Yeah.
And it comes so natural. I'm so fortunate that for our team, it comes natural. We encourage that and we want connections and we want the people side. So,
and as we spoke about, if you went to a nursing home in the 70s, chances are it wasn't great.
Yeah.
And you went to see grandma and it smelled like pee and people were scary. Yeah. And that's what you have in your head.
Right.
And so if it's your time or your parents' time, you're thinking of that.
Yeah, for sure.
And while some places still exist like that, not at Bethesda. Yeah. It's a completely different deal. And especially those independent living places, I could have moved into any one of those that day.
Yeah.
They're beautiful.
Thank you.
No, they are. They're great.
We're very proud of them. And
and my hotness factor would have gone through the roof.
Men in general, when you move into senior living, dude, you would have it made. Yeah. Men in general, but you've got all the things, right? So, in moving into senior living, we joke about it, but as we're talking about master planning right now at Bethesda, and we're looking to the future, I joke and I tell them we're building for me. We're building what I want. Yes. And, it takes years to build the things, but still, you want to start looking. You want to start looking when you want to look, not when you need to look. Yeah. And we talked a little bit about that too, and making the decision when it's still your choice, not running in because you have to do something. So, if, your parent or sibling even is just marginally thinking about it, go out and take a look.
Also, it's important because rarely does this happen. Hey, mom, hey, dad, I think maybe it's time we think about somewhere for you to live. That's the greatest idea, son. Thank you so much for loving me. No,
Right.
typically it's you son of a bitch. I'll move the day that they blah, blah, blah. You guys can help with that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. And even if it's like we've talked about before, just questions about aging. And I joke that, we've done this for thousands of people. So for us, it's natural to have the conversations. We know what to do. You're the kid, right? You know nothing.
Right.
You're never going to know anything, and
No.
you're certainly not going to tell them what to do. So lean into an expert. Lean into somebody to be the bad guy. Even when residents move in and they live with us, if there's a situation where they need some planning or maybe some additional help, and the kids see it and they're trying to talk about it, they're not going to push it. But if you bring in the third party, the expert, whatever that is, we can have the conversation. We can be the bad guy. At the end of the day, I can be the bad guy because I'm the outsider. They're still your family, your husband, your wife, your father, mother. Let somebody else who is expert in it help you.
Yeah. Yeah. That's so important. Because you're so right. The places that you're building now are for us.
Yeah.
That's crazy. What a crazy thought.
It's absolutely crazy. And I've done some tours in communities across the country. And, some of them are so far ahead. I had moments like you. I was like, dude, I could live here.
Yeah.
So we want to look at the things that we want. What does that look like? And it's a different group, but I still have to take care of the people who live with me now. So it's very interesting programming wise, what I'm doing for my current resident versus those coming in now versus my resident in 10 years.
So go to BethesdaHealth.org, go to contact us, fill out the little form.
Yep.
And then someone nice like you, maybe even you, will get back with them and help them out.
Absolutely. 100%. Even if you think it's a dumb question, if you don't know the answer, at least seek advice.
Yeah.
Try.
Great. Thank you, Michelle.
Of course. Thank you.
New tax resolution firms are popping up every day with high-paid celebrity endorsers, advertising ridiculous claims in their TV ads. That's why they have the tiny, unreadable disclaimers at the bottom of the screen. Hi, this is Lance Drury with the Lance Drury Law Firm. Our ads never have those ridiculous, fast-talking, tiny disclaimers at the end because, simply put, there are no guarantees when it comes to the IRS and wiping out tax bills. And we don't make promises we can't keep. Of course, there are ways the Lance Drury Law Firm can help resolve your tax debt, but no company can guarantee it will eliminate it. This is why their clients call the Lance Drury Law Firm when those promises don't pan out. If you have tax problems, you have legal problems, call me, Lance Drury in St. Louis at 314-260-6120 or visit Lance, D-R-U-R-Y, law.com to schedule your free consultation with your local tax resolution law firm.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Just met a listener out at Quick Trip, actually, who said, hey, love the show. Just wanted to let you know I use Universal Windows Direct, and they were fantastic. And he said, something you guys don't talk enough about. He said, I talked to them several times before they even came to my house. And even then, they didn't pull out a contract. They were showing me the windows. They were showing me how everything works. And just bottom line, basically, this guy was saying is I felt very, very safe and not pressured by Universal Windows Direct. He got 2 other bids, and he said that they were very much pressure kind of focused sales. So if you're interested in replacement windows and you'd like to look at them without being pressured, reach out to Universal Windows Direct. Right now, you can buy 2 windows, get 2 for free with no limit, 24 months with not only no interest, but no payments, $500 bonus at the end of your project, 314-334-2522 or universalwindowsdirect.com.
Carpal tunnel syndrome, heart failure that doesn't improve with common medicines. These are some signs and symptoms associated with ATTR-CM, or the cardiomyopathy of ATTR amyloidosis, a serious heart condition with symptoms that get worse over time. Amvuttra vutrisiran is a prescription medicine given by a healthcare provider that treats ATTR-CM in adults to reduce heart-related death, hospital stays, and urgent visits. In a clinical study, Amvuttra was proven to help people live longer and have fewer heart-related hospital stays and urgent visits over 3 years compared to placebo. Amvuttra lowers the amount of vitamin A in your blood, which can affect vision. Other side effects include pain in the arms or legs, pain in the joints, and shortness of breath. These are not all the possible side effects of Amvuttra. For prescribing information, call 1-833-256-2748 or learn more at amvuttra.com. Ask your doctor about Amvuttra for ATTR-CM.
Guys, right now, FanDuel customers, new FanDuel customers, can get a special deal. And, of course, FanDuel Sportsbook is the official sportsbook of KMOX. It's been my choice for, 7, 8, 9 years before this was even legal here in Missouri, because when I traveled, I would play on FanDuel Sportsbook if it was in Illinois or everywhere else. And now you can join me. A new customer right now gets a big bonus. You can get up to $300 back in bonus bets every day for 10 days. And here's how it works. Pretty simple. You place any bet with FanDuel using your Bet Reset token. You'll see it there when you log in. You got a link at the top. You just click it, redeem it, and you've got it. And then once you apply that, if that bet doesn't win, you'll get up to $300 back in bonus bets. And again, that's every single day for 10 straight days for new customers right now. So all you need to do to take part in this, to have fun with it, is go to FanDuel.com/Missouri. That's where you sign up. FanDuel is where you get to play your game, whether that's football, basketball, baseball, or hockey. Mine's definitely baseball. You can take advantage, but only if you're 21 or older and present in Missouri. Remember that bonus bets are non-withdrawable and expire 7 days after receipt. Tokens are received in increments of 1 per day. Restrictions will apply as well. You can see all the terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. And if you have a gambling problem, just call 1-800-GAMBLER.
News, talk, cards. KMOX AM St. Louis. KMOX FM Hazelwood. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
At 3 o'clock, it is windy right now, 82 degrees downtown at the Arch. No vote today from St. Louis's Board of Public Service on a data center going into the building next to the Armory. That'd be the former Famous Bar, Macy's warehouse. Let's take you live to the newsroom. KMOX's Maria Kina just back from speaking with the mayor.
Michael, Mayor Kara Spencer says, given the sensitivity of the data center topic, this is what she had to say.
I wanted to give a little more due diligence on that project. I don't have a firm set of requirements I can discuss here today, but it's a work in progress, and we're going to look to make sure that we are moving forward in a way that can communicate to the public.
As of now, the public has had little opportunity to respond to this data center. Mayor Spencer tells KMOX she does not know when the Board of Public Service will vote on this matter. Live in the newsroom, Maria Kina, KMOX News.
The name on the St. Louis University Arena is now also on an NBA ownership group. Richard Chaffetz of St. Louis has joined the Tom Dundon-led group that closed its $4.25 billion purchase of the Portland Trail Blazers today. Chaffetz will sit on the franchise's board of directors and lead its executive hiring committee. As for any dreams of the Blazers coming to St. Louis, Oregon just approved $365 million in arena renovations to keep the team in Portland. This just in, the Army says the crews of the 2 helicopters that hovered near Kid Rock's Nashville home are now suspended pending a review. The St. Louis County prosecutor has filed charges against 2 women involved in this week's missing child hoax.
31-year-old Kayla Williams and 29-year-old Ashley Collins are charged with making a false police report and misuse of 911. The 2 are accused of calling police Monday to report a stolen car with a 5-year-old girl inside, triggering an Amber Alert that you may have received on your phone. The report mobilized officers from multiple departments with tactical units and air support before investigators determined the missing child was completely fabricated. Prosecuting attorney Melissa Price-Smith says every minute a police officer spends chasing a ghost is a minute they are unavailable for a real victim of violence. Her office says the hoax resulted in significant taxpayer expense. Beth Coughlin, KMOX News.
St. Louis police have arrested the man accused of shooting at an officer last night. 45-year-old Demetrius Ingram was taken into custody after being found hiding in a garage on Lawn Avenue near Filer, not far from the Quick Trip and the Home Depot in that area. A firearm was recovered at the scene. The manhunt involved officers from across the department, including K-9, Air Support, and the U.S. Marshals. From the business desk, U.S. security firms say there have been thousands of cyber attacks mounted by groups tied to Iran. Some have targeted businesses. One expert tells KMOX your company's insurance might not cover a loss.
Justin Carlson handles a very specialized tax-deferred insurance vehicle for businesses.
He says traditional cybersecurity insurance policies are excluding coverage for attacks by state actors.
Really, under most types of insurance policies, whether it's property, general liability, and cyber, acts of war are almost always excluded from those types of policies.
U.S. security firms report that since the war began last month, hackers supporting Iran have launched thousands of cyber attacks on companies and organizations in both the U.S. and Israel, seeking to undermine the war effort and critical supply chains. Megan Lynch, KMOX News.
Let's get you an update now. The St. Louis Business Index to Stifel and Scott Bedell. Scott?
Good afternoon, Michael. Hello, everyone. Today, market participants chose to ignore the bad news and embrace the positive as major stock indices soared on what seems to be an encouraging news from Iran. At the 3 p.m. closing bell, the Dow Jones Industrial Average jumped higher by 1,124 points, or 2.5% at 46,341. The Standard & Poor's 500 index gained a little less than 3% at 6,528, while NASDAQ soared 3.75% to close at 21,590. The Bloomberg St. Louis Stock Index, also part of the party today, adding 2.75% at 1,585. Helping that index to move higher, Stifel Financial gained just a little less than 3% at $73.92. Emerson Electric up 6.25% at $131.02. Boeing rebounded 5% at $199.03. On the downside, Spire fell just a little less than 1% at $90.54, while Energizer lost 2.75%. They closed at $16.42. This has been Scott Bedell from Stifel Financial, member SIPC and New York Stock Exchange. For more information on our firm, we invite you to visit our website at stifel.com.
Got a stalled vehicle 170 south at Natural Bridge, another stall 55 north at Lindbergh.
More like summer than the last day of March. That's called partly sunny, windy, and warm. We'll keep a chance of a spot shower, a thunder shower, primarily late this afternoon. 86 for the high. The record is 87, so we're going to be close to that again. A good way to wrap up March. Tonight, periods of rain, a couple of thunderstorms, 60 degrees. Wednesday, periods of rain, a couple of thunderstorms, 75. That's the unsettled pattern Wednesday night, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Sunday, Easter Sunday, partly to mostly sunny. I'll keep a chance of a spot shower, but I think much of Easter is rain-free. It's cooler, 58. From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Dave Murray on 104.1 FM. KMOX.
We've got winds out of the south-southwest at 17, gusting up to 29 miles an hour. It's 82, feels like 78 downtown at the Arch. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
This report is sponsored by McKelvey Homes.
Want a new home in Cottleville? Check out Cottleville Trails by McKelvey Homes. Take a golf cart or walk to downtown Cottleville. Visit McKelveyHomes.com today to learn more about the incredible homes in Cottleville Trails and move up to McKelvey.
The Dave Glover Show is sponsored by the Michaels Flooring Outlet, the flooring experts. IGotFloored.com.
Welcome back, guys. DGS on KMOX. Happy Tuesday. A few minutes past 3 p.m. Arlen King says, sounds like this might be a Dave's pick day for the music. It was. Hope you enjoy it. Kind of eclectic. Steve Ellman, our pal from Think Tank, is here. And I'm very appreciative of that because one of the biggest stories in our region right now, it's all over all the local news and here at KMOX, is what's going on in St. Charles County, apropos of the county's relationship and in particular law enforcement with ICE. It's my understanding that our other pal, Mike Elam, who's on every Thursday, has introduced 287G. And Steve, thanks for coming in. Let's take it from the ground up and let's work through this thing. What's 287G and why is it necessary?
287G is a section of the Immigration and Naturalization Act, which is 40 years old. It's been around for a long time. In 2007, we had an apartment project in O'Fallon that was financed with public money through the Missouri Housing Development Commission. And the contractor brought a bunch of workers up from Mexico. Okay. And they were here illegally. And anyway, we dealt with it. They left the next day. That's the first time that we kind of became interested in the undocumented worker issue in St. Charles County. Our sheriff, Tom Neer, who just passed away this weekend, was a great man and a great professional in the police business. And anyway, we came down here to St. Louis and talked to ICE then, because that 287G was there. The Highway Patrol had already become a part of it. We asked, can we get in it too? We went through the process, filled out the paperwork. Our council approved it. And about the time we were ready to start, I think they had a change of administration in Washington, D.C., and all of a sudden now it kind of disappeared. And as you know, we've kind of been back and forth every 4 years now on how we deal with this, and that's been part of the problem. In 2021, we had a similar problem. And again, it was people who were brought up here. They were here illegally. We had our police go out and observe them on the job. Our police followed them to see if they were living where they were supposed to be, and they were in a hotel. They didn't speed. There was nothing illegal. There was no reason we couldn't pull them over. So we didn't. But we did call ICE. And at that particular time, they did nothing. So now, of course, we got a different administration. So now they have been doing that. And the most recent example, remember last year, the Golden Apple restaurant in St. Charles? That all started at a homeowners association where somebody complained that in their neighborhood, there were 10 people unrelated people living in the same house, which is a violation of our ordinances. They called the police. The police came out to investigate that, and they found there was basically 20 undocumented workers there. They called ICE. Of course, now ICE shows up, and they detained all 20 and deported all 20 and filed the U.S. attorney and the prosecuting attorney filed charges against their employer. And when they came out to detain these people, our people were there. You know what they did? They got on either end of the block. They basically cordoned off the entire block. They didn't let anybody, get close to what ICE was doing, and just simply basically created a perimeter so there wouldn't be any incidents. And that's basically what we've been doing, and that's what we will continue to do, even if we hadn't passed this thing last night. The only difference now is we're going to get training for up to 10 of our people so that they can deal with these situations quicker, more efficiently, and get back on their regular job quicker. And other than that, ICE is there, and we heard a lot of horror stories last night, as you can imagine, the people who were opposed to it, but they were about Minnesota or other places. So far, I don't know that there's been that type of a problem with the St. Louis region. I guarantee you, if there is, we'll be hearing about it. And the best thing about this is you read the document. We are not required to do anything that is against our personnel policies. And if they ask us to do something that we just do not agree is correct and should be done, we have the ability to get out of the agreement immediately.
So are we talking about an increased ICE presence in St. Charles County?
No, we're not, because I don't know that they come out there unless they get a complaint. And if we don't go looking for people, but if we, in the process of enforcing the criminal law, if we come across someone who is not documented, we call them, and then they do whatever it is they decide they want to do. We've got anywhere from 20 to 30 people every day in our county jail. Back in 2007, we started every time someone came in, we would notify ICE. Since then, and even today, ICE doesn't do anything until they're either acquitted or convicted or served their sentence. And then they say, call us, we'll come and pick them up.
Mm-hmm.
The only problem with that is, so we got them in the jail and it cost us $118 a day to keep them there. On the other hand, there's people who say, well, they're getting off easy if they just get deported. They need to be convicted and serve their sentence. So it's an issue that didn't come up just recently. It's been around for a long time, and it's not going to go away overnight. And I don't think things are going to change that drastically in St. Charles County. Yeah, there will be people that are detained and deported, but again, our role will be to when we come across them and doing our other law enforcement to go ahead and let ICE know, and then support them if they decide to take action.
If you guys are just joining us, our pal Steve Ellman, St. Charles County executive, is here. We're talking about the recent stuff going on. You see it on the news with St. Charles County law enforcement and ICE. Wheels, you look like you have something to say over there.
No, I think it's interesting hearing the description. I live out in St. Charles County, obviously. I mean, we talked about that. Is it common? Is it because what this sounds like is what we were initially presented with, which is people that are committing crimes, people that are getting arrested. They're the ones that we're going to be targeting, not just random, hey, you look like someone we might need to talk to. And what you're describing is that first one.
Yeah.
Which is if you're pulled over for, expired plates or you've committed another crime, that's the way you'll be caught up in it. We're not like seeking it. Is that the correct description?
We are not bounty hunters.
Gotcha.
And because we don't want to be perceived as bounty hunters, we have already informed the federal authorities if there's ever any recompense, if they want to pay us for this, we're not
Gotcha.
accepting it. And we're doing that. And we didn't get into this. They called us. We were the one who initiated it in 2007. They called us about a month or two ago and said, this program's available. Would you like to be interested? We spent a lot of time. We probably had 6 different meetings with ICE people. We had conversations with people in Washington, wanted to make sure we understood exactly what we were getting into. And the last person we called before we made a decision was Mark James, who's the director of public safety for the state of Missouri, because the Highway Patrol has been in this for a year. And they trained 53 highway patrolmen. And we asked Mark, have you had any problems? Have you had any complaints? He said, not a one. He said, but we are concerned about the perception. Mm-hmm. And right now they're not paying anybody, but there's talk that Congress might provide some money for them. Mm-hmm. And he said, if we're offered any money, we're not going to take it. Because again, we don't want people to think that there's some incentive.
You don't want to think that the incentive is go get people so you can make money.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
But I mean, wouldn't that take away time and resources from the police department if they're acting on behalf of ICE or able to do this job that is typically the job of ICE? I mean, I guess I question why you wouldn't take money if that's going to take resources from the police department.
Because being part of this program will actually allow us to be more efficient. Okay. Right now, when we encounter these people, we can't do anything except call ICE.
Yeah.
So we're sitting there for 2-3 hours waiting for them to do whatever it is they do.
So
this will allow us to go ahead and deal with it in such a way that our people can get back to doing their real job, their regular job, more quickly.
I don't expect you to betray any confidences, but did you get the idea from your multiple meetings with ICE that they get it? Like they get what they've been through in Minneapolis. They get what the community thinks of them. They understand all that.
Yeah, I think they definitely do. And again, here's the point of all this. And first thing I said last night, when I took my oath of office, and the same is true of every police officer out there, we pledged to uphold the Constitution of the United States and the laws of the United States, just like we have to uphold the Constitution of Missouri and its laws and our charter and all that. So, we're the executive branch, we being the police force. We're the executive branch. We execute the laws, okay? There's a lot of people there last night that were very passionate against what is going on here. But, it doesn't do any good to come to the county council meeting because these rules were made years ago in Washington, D.C. They can be amended now. And it's my understanding that that's actually what's being negotiated right now to try to end the shutdown. That's why the government is shut down, because they're trying to the people who are against some of these things are trying to use it as pressure to get them to not do the kind of things that happened in Minneapolis. But again, thinking about Minneapolis, if the local police had been in Minneapolis, if they had done what our police did with the Golden Apple and actually created a perimeter and kept civilians.
What happened in Minneapolis is a citizen got shot in the head. If there was they weren't arresting a illegal immigrant and then someone intervened. There was a protest going on and then a citizen was shot in the head.
Yeah, but why was the citizen even in
they were exercising their First Amendment right to protest.
Near the ICE?
The ICE was not. They were exercising. They were on a sidewalk.
And in fact, the ICE agent, the first one that started all of that, literally had to cross the street to get to the women that he shoved to the ground, and that's where the confrontation happened with Preddy, who ended up being shot.
That's what I find.
So like that's why I think people are worried, right? Nobody wants to see that. They don't want to see 25, 30 masked men who aren't showing their name or their face roaming around the streets, but that's not what you're describing.
Exactly. It's not what I'm describing. And once again, the complaint right now in Minneapolis is that the local prosecutor can't get any information because the feds were the only ones there to investigate what happened. There were no local police there to talk to people, to get reports.
I thought that DHS prevented
they did
from
block
investigating.
They did because they weren't cooperating from the get-go.
Yeah.
Which is I mean, it's a form of coercion, right? If you don't cooperate with us, we're not going to let you do anything, which, again, we probably shouldn't be doing, but it doesn't sound like that's...
But this is the issue. This is what people are supposed to be talking about in Washington, D.C. with the House and the Senate, and hopefully these sort of problems will be worked out.
Right.
And going forward, we'll avoid these kind of problems. And certainly, we're going to do everything to make sure nothing like that ever happens in St. Charles County. And again, if they ask us to do something like that, we will simply refuse and drop out of the program.
Even if it means just doing the perimeter that you're talking about while something like that's going on, that would be like, okay, that's not in our charter. That's not what we do.
Doing the perimeter I don't think would be a problem in any case.
Gotcha.
In fact, being there, I think, would be an advantage in terms of public safety.
You know what's sad about this to me, let me editorialize briefly, is that ICE traditionally wasn't really controversial.
No.
And I think...
Well, it wasn't until you put masks on people and then just go start rounding people up.
I agree 100%.
I believe it's completely the fault of the Trump administration. I think it's an unforced error. I think it was stupid and ended tragically. It didn't need to be like this at all.
No.
But I don't think it's going to get fixed unless the people who did it can take some responsibility for it and say, that was a huge mistake. We're not going to do that anymore. I think that's what people want to hear.
Yeah. And they're talking about, wearing body cameras. Our police already, we've been wearing body cameras ever since Ferguson. So whatever happens and however we're involved and whatever we do, the third branch of government, that doesn't make the laws or execute them, but it's the judiciary.
Yeah.
And we don't want to end up in front of some judge saying we violated anybody's civil rights. So, it's a separation of powers and this is just how it's supposed to work. And hopefully it will work the right way.
All right. Thanks, Steve.
Okay.
You know your customers. Ralph likes his coffee black on Fridays, but Mondays he takes a little cream. Jennifer comes in every 3 years when her lease is up to get the newer and better model. And for some reason, pepperoni pizza sells like crazy on Friday nights. Who knew? At Odyssey, we have the expertise to get your media plan done right. With ads like you're hearing right now, to targeted social media campaigns, search engine optimization, and location-based advertising. Advertise with Odyssey and help us grow your business. Visit ads.odyssey.com.
Too many tools, too much stress, and way too many bills.
Odoo replaces it all. One connected platform for every part of your business. so you can work faster, smarter, and for less. Odoo, the only software you'll ever need. Try it free today at odoo.com. That's ODOO.com.
It's about time delivery worked on your schedule. Same day, next day, or scheduled in advance. However you plan it, the Home Depot delivers the whole job. From drywall to doors, plumbing to paint, we'll get it there when you need it. Because on the job site, timing is everything. You order, we deliver. It's that easy. The Home Depot Pro. It's about time.
Game day comfort steps up to the plate Saturday, April 11th, when the Cardinals face the Boston Red Sox downtown. That night, fans can score a Cardinals dugout hoodie presented by Mercy, built for cool nights, late innings, and early season baseball. It's a classic, easy-to-wear layer you'll reach for all year long. Available in medium or extra large while supplies last. Don't miss this spring matchup. Get tickets and details at cardinals.com/promotions.
Every Sunday home game is a Kids Sunday at Busch Stadium. From Team Fredbird and games to a kid-friendly DJ, ice cream, and family-favorite activities. Sundays are built for young fans. Plus, select Sundays feature kids run the bases after the game. It's a day made for smiles, memories, and Cardinals baseball together. Make Sundays your family tradition at Busch Stadium. Tickets and details at cardinals.com/KidsSunday.
If your retirement plan is mostly what if and a little fingers crossed, you deserve better answers than that. Check out Wealth and Wisdom Saturdays at 7 a.m. here on KMOX. I'm Gary Goldberg. Call 800-966-1690.
Tell you guys about my friend Mark Cantor, attorney at law. And I spend too much time selling you guys, Mark, against other law firms who piss me off, who I think denigrate my old profession and just make us look terrible. I'll just say this. You don't want the biggest law firm in the world. You want the best law firm in St. Louis. There are other good plaintiffs' attorneys. I would never represent someone who is so silly as to think they're the only good one out of thousands. But Mark is one of the best. For the second time in his career, he was named to the Lawyers Weekly Top 10 Power List. You can imagine with 10,000 lawyers in our area, it's pretty tough to make the top 10, but he did it for the second time. He is a seasoned trial attorney. The defense bar knows him, respects him, might even fear him. He's very involved in every case. The one I sent him with the little girl who got hit by the car at the bus stop, he has been managing and helping out with her medical care the entire time to make sure she gets what she needs. If you or someone you care about is injured and you think someone else may be at fault, 314-628-9999 or CantorInjuryLaw.com.
Yesterday, today, and tomorrow. KMOX, the voice of St. Louis.
Welcome back, DGS 326. Happy Tuesday to you. Very interesting segment. Very interesting. Again, I never found ICE to be controversial.
Not before, again. No.
Not before. But when you punch us in the face like that, where you say it's a brand new deal, whole new ICE, here's what we're doing now. And when it goes so absolutely terribly wrong, I think you can only blame yourself for people going, wait a minute.
Yeah.
We don't want those guys here.
And people look, there's nothing wrong with people having concerns about that stuff.
No.
Because you saw what played out, and what people are saying is we don't want that here.
Yeah.
We don't want that where we live. We don't want that, right next door. And that's understandable. I mean, we should never be putting in a position where people that are enforcing the law are hiding their identities. I mean, I just find that to be nonsense, because police officers that are work in St. Louis and St. Charles County and St. Louis County, they're not doing it. State troopers aren't hiding their identities.
Mm-hmm.
When the National Guard's out, they're not hiding their identities. If what you're doing is just and good and fine, then you don't need to hide your identity. And I think that that's where you get distrust. That's what makes me distrust you. If you're trying to make it so that I can't tell who's doing what, that feels like you're trying to push the boundaries of what's okay. And I'm sure that's what a lot of the pushback is at the meeting that Steve was describing.
Yeah, and I mean, ICE is helping out in several airports across the country now. They're not covering their face in the airport.
Right.
So why is that? If it's okay to cover your face, why are we not covering our faces in the airport? I mean, it is just a question, but I'm curious to know how you answer that question.
I've never really understood why they need the anonymity.
As Brian points out, or I'm sorry, I thought it was Brian. It was Takeoff. He said they have masks because activists want to dox them.
So dox them.
They want to dox police officers too. They still do their job.
Yeah, police officers have to stand by what they do.
Yeah.
That's part of being a police
And the
officer.
same thing with
You're not a secret police.
every position of authority.
We don't want a secret police.
That's I think, and again, it's not necessarily at the point where that's what it is. That's not the allegation. The point is that's what it looks like, and you don't want that.
Hear me out on this. Let's say, for the sake of argument, you do have a wife or a significant other.
Yeah.
They're just a huge problem in your life. And then you win a giant jackpot. Don't you feel like this is your opportunity to just leave town?
You're not going to file papers now because now you're going to be legally bound to this lady.
That's what you get the lawyer for.
You're not even married and you're fantasizing about leaving your wife.
The Chris and Amy Show, weekdays starting at 9 on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
I want to give you guys a great recommendation if you are thinking at all about doing a refinancing, which, by the way, if the interest rates are like, 5 or 6 and you're paying 22% and it's pretty easy. You're going to be way better off to do a refinancing. And then when the interest rates go back down, then you can do another refinancing with Stewie. But here's the thing. Stewie does his mortgages different than anyone else. And that's why he's better than anyone else, because he doesn't hire commission salespeople and he saves their commissions. He originates the loans himself and his son, Jordan. And he takes that money that he could put in his pocket, and he buys down completely the fees. So you don't pay any fees. That's the way most mortgage people make their money, and he doesn't. So he was to tell me about someone he had in the other day who was about to close with another company and heard us talking about Stewie, called Stewie, got the 411, called the other guy, said, I'm talking to Stewie, and he basically said, I can't do what he does. You have to pay fees. So whether it's an original mortgage or it's a refinancing, debt consolidation, whatever it is, just have a conversation with Stewie. Here's his cell phone number. Use it day or night. 314-324-4440. 314-324-4440. Google the Bagel Loan. NMLS 226715.
Traffic from the MichaelsFlooringOutlet.com Traffic Center.
Well, mostly just slow traffic out around the area so far this afternoon. This traffic reports a service of S&L Coins. If you're on westbound Highway 70, there's slow stuff from the airport most of the way to 270. It's a little busy approaching Zumbel. It's slowed down again from 79 almost all the way to Bryan Road, and then it's a little heavy at 61 after that. Westbound 64 Science Center to McCausland's busy. Approaching Lindbergh out to Ballas is slow, and then 364 to 70, the usual volume. Southbound 270 bogs down at 364 to Ladue. Approaching Manchester to Doherty Ferry, and a little slow again past 44. Westbound 44, those right lanes just backing up at Geyer right now. Southbound 55, a little heavy. Gasconade Bates. North of Z down to about McNutt, almost midway between M and Z to McNutt. You've got heavy traffic. And of course, on the Illinois side, backed up eastbound 70 east of the usual Veterans over to 64, and 64 slow through 157. I'm Roger Brand at the MichaelsFlooringOutlet.com Traffic Center.
All hail Spamalot, the Tony Award-winning best musical comedy that will have you laughing your coconuts off. The Washington Post declares Monty Python's Spamalot is the funniest musical on Broadway. Entertainment Weekly calls it a hilarious fun fest. The Washington Post says it's unfair to laugh this much. Get your tickets now for the musical comedy event of the year, Spamalot, playing the Fabulous Fox May 5th through 17th. Tickets at fabulousfox.com.
Straight Realty has always been an industry leader when it comes to commissions, so it should come as no surprise that the recent Realtor settlement has only empowered us to continue offering our sellers even better rates. We now list homes for only 2%. Hi, I'm Christina Straight, owner of Straight Realty. Call me 314-441-4444. Why pay more than 2? You can also listen to my podcast on my website, straightrealty.com.
Commissions are not regulated and are negotiable. Straight Realty is a licensed broker in the state of Missouri.
I'm Ultima Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Every time one of my children started driving, it was terrifying. Thousands of accidents happen across the country. We see it every day. If you've been injured in a car accident, call us.
Dial pound law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Ready to hit a home run with your backyard? Call Artistic Decks. We're celebrating 25 years of A-plus service with massive rollback pricing. Get a professional custom-built deck for less. Hit it out of the park with Artistic Decks. Call 314-280-0821 today.
Big hits get even bigger with Dinger Tuesdays on FanDuel. And here's how it works. You choose your own reward every Tuesday to use on MLB bets. So how are you going to play your game? Are you going to take option 1? That's the bet reset. You use this on your wager, and you'll get refunded in bonus bets if your bet loses. Or option 2, it's a 50% profit boost. So you make your bet, you activate the profit boost, and if it hits, that is extra winnings at no extra cost. Make your choice, and the reward will be ready to use for your next MLB bet. Go to FanDuel.com/Missouri to choose your reward for MLB bets every Dinger Tuesday. FanDuel is an official partner of MLB. Must be 21 or over and present in Missouri. Opt-in required. Rewards are non-withdrawable. Restrictions apply, including bonus and token expiration, leg requirements, and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Siteman Cancer Center Spotlight. Dr. Jean Wang, a WashU Medicine gastroenterologist at Siteman Cancer Center.
Once you're 45 and over, even if you're not having symptoms or even if you don't have a family history, we recommend everyone get screened for colorectal cancer because everyone is at risk. Everyone is at risk, even if you're not having symptoms.
This is Colorectal Cancer Awareness Month, and for more information, you can visit siteman.wustl.edu.
Tonight, the Cards, the Mets.
Cameron Total Access 550. First pitch 645.
Cardinals Radio. 104.1 FM KMOX.
It's time to talk to Dave Murray, whose weather is sponsored by Artistic Decks.
Scariest song of all time.
I can introduce you to a few.
I'm terrified right now.
She's not just a woman, she's witchy.
Dave Murray is here, courtesy of the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk. Hello, Dave.
Hello there.
Okay, before we do the forecast,
sure.
Tomorrow's game, how we looking? How we looking?
Well, there'll be scattered showers and some thunderstorms around. It's a timing issue. It's almost a nowcast type thing. I'll be amazed. Now, in contrast, I think by the time we get into tomorrow evening, we're dry.
Oh.
At least for about 12 hours or so.
Mm-hmm.
So there could... I'll be amazed if we get through the game without a rain delay. I think we probably get the game in.
Okay. It's the best of both worlds right there.
Yeah, you're not kidding, man.
Yeah, I like it. Okay, now let's do the forecast.
Okay. There's not much out there right now. It's cloudy. It's a little cooler. We're about 79, 80 right now. No record today. There will be some showers. There'll be a couple of thunderstorms around, non-severe overnight tonight. Couple of showers, couple of thunderstorms around on Wednesday, 75. Not much in the way of rain Wednesday night. Scattered showers and thunderstorms and windy on Thursday, 79. Keep that going. Friday, 81. I think there'll probably be a little more sun around on Friday. Saturday, still showers and some thunderstorms around 65, but it's all gone for Easter Sunday. Mostly sunny. It's cooler on Sunday, 55 degrees. The sunrise is at 6:40 on Easter Sunday. This is not a widespread severe weather event. The front is to our north and really won't get through us until probably sometime on Saturday, clearing us out for Sunday. So, yes, there'll be some thunderstorms around, but it's not a big thunderstorm outbreak.
Okay, good. Headlines, Rach?
Yes, let's get into some headlines. All right, we've talked about this off the air.
She's pretty drunk, Dave. I'm not going to lie.
Okay.
Yeah, she said, like, if Dave Glover can do trazodone, I can have some vodka.
All right, so President Trump says that this high-profile White House ballroom project is coming with a little bit of a twist. He says the military is constructing a massive complex beneath this new 90,000 square foot event space. And he says everything is ahead of schedule. The ballroom is essentially becoming a shed for what's being built under. So I don't know about you guys. This is a crazy development in plans. Everybody was worked up about the ballroom. What we should be concerned about is the massive underground complex.
Yeah, you
the shed.
usually don't tell people about your underground lair.
Right.
Well, I mean, now they have to stop.
Yeah.
The ruling today from a federal judge saying this needs to be approved by Congress. But all of this with the ballroom. Yeah.
The lair part or the whole project?
Well, no, just everything had to stop.
Okay.
The whole project, like changing the White House. Apparently, according to this one federal judge, and Dave's right, I'm sure this will go to the Supreme Court at some point. But basically saying the presidency does not have the right. They are a steward of the House. They don't own the House. Those changes need to be approved by Congress.
And meanwhile,
and maybe it'll get approved.
East Wing is just gone.
It's flattened already. Yeah, which is act first and ask for permission later, which is what they do.
Because now they have to build something.
Well, exactly, right. You can't just leave it the way that it is, right?
Just put a tarp over the hole. It'll be okay. California Governor Gavin Newsom is redrawing the rules for how California does business with artificial intelligence.
Right. I'm sorry. I shouldn't do this, but it's Newscomb.
Oh, sorry. I thought you were going to criticize the fact that I wasn't pronouncing any of those words properly. And I was like, this is about to really hurt my feelings. So Newsom signed a first-of-its-kind executive order tightening state oversight of AI vendors. He says California is going to demand tougher safeguards from these companies if they want government contracts. I am fine with this. I think the AI companies are given so much leash as it is right now because everyone's just terrified of China having the edge on us. So it's like, yeah, whatever you guys want, we can make it happen. I think it's wiser to pump the brakes on a couple of these things. Okay, really interested to get your guys' thoughts on this. TMZ has an unusual new focus, and that is lawmakers on vacation. I think Andrew had this on the sheet, but we didn't get around to talking about it on the air. But TMZ is actively asking their listeners, their viewers, if you're at the airport and you see someone from Congress getting on a plane, they're going on vacation, send us their picture. We will put them on blast. Apparently, Harvey Levin has always wanted to get into politics in some way, shape, or form. And I was reading on X today, he used to be friends with President Trump, but they kind of fell out during the first term. But this is something he's always been interested in. I personally find it interesting that they are all in on this right now. To me, that says there is more of an appetite from the general public to dunk on these people.
Oh, yeah.
I think there's an anger among the American people that's hotter than it has been in my adult life.
Yeah.
In regards to politicians, the things that they get away with, and they get to run around unscathed while we make sacrifices and we pay more money and all this kind of stuff.
Did you guys see? I think it was a senator that someone took a picture of him looking at his phone during a session, and he was trading stocks, which is illegal.
Wow,
you can't do that
from the Senate floor. And
he was doing it.
So then what's the punishment?
Yeah, is there a consequence to his actions?
I mean, if it's illegal, you should face charges, and it's very blatant if you're doing it on camera.
And what you were saying, Rach, about the level of venom that we have, my venom comes from a secondary source, and that's that they are so, I want to say the F word, friggin' cocky that they think they can do that.
Yeah.
Right.
They look at it and they're like, "Oh, hey, sir, the whole country's pretty pissed at you because of TSA and all these other shenanigans. Maybe you shouldn't fly to Boca Raton. And he's like, that's what pisses me off, is they should understand it at least and hide.
Well, but they know we're too busy fighting each other. We've all taken the bait. Everybody just wants to fight with the person who voted for the other person instead of hold the people accountable that are actually doing damage, actually spending your money, and making money themselves because they get to spend your money, because they know how it works and what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And they get to trade off of that and make even more money and get rich. But we're just too busy yelling at each other to pay attention or do anything about it.
Brian says those idiots all get to go on vacation and skip the TSA lines. You can't despise these morons enough.
Amen. We agree on that,
said.
Brian M.
Well said. Let's see. This is crazy. The LaGuardia controller staffing the day of that incident last week may have violated procedures on the night of the collision. There's some documents showing that staffing shortages basically could have been what led to this. That is just such an
Lawsuits
unfortunate
incoming.
thing. Absolutely.
And deservedly so.
And then the thing that really stinks is like whoever it would have been who was stretched too thin and ultimately made this mistake, they have to live with the guilt of that the rest of their life when ultimately they were let down because of the staffing shortage.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think they were the ones making the decision to do all this. They were probably trying to do the best they possibly could.
We could not even close our eyes to try to sleep at night if we had an idea of a 10th of the shenanigans that are going on out there.
Yeah, that's a good.
It's not
that's a
just
good
air
point.
traffic control. It's like everywhere. We do it. Like if people knew how we half-ass this show, but we don't have lives in our hands.
We
right?
all know that.
That's a great point, Dave Murray. We're on camera. They can see it. But I mean, there's so much half-assing and it's just, yeah.
And gas prices have eclipsed $4 a gallon in the U.S. That's the highest since 2022. So more good
I would
news.
love to see $4 gas.
What's it looking like out there?
What are you guys at 7?
Regular gas, $6.19.
Oh my goodness!
Regular gas.
Dang.
Damn.
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah, just crazy.
One
Hey,
more-
but at least you guys have earthquakes.
Yeah.
One more story for you guys. Celine Dion is announcing her comeback with some concerts in Paris. Today, I learned Celine Dion is 58 years old. Yesterday was her 58th birthday.
Why did I think she'd be older than
That's
Yeah,
that's
me
what
too.
I said.
Me too.
And she looks incredible. It's nothing about like, she
Just
looks
feels like
older.
she's been around for a long time.
That's exactly what I said. I said she's been around forever. And it just, I mean, what?
So she was just really young when she got her
Yes.
big break.
Yes.
Yeah.
But anyway, welcome back to performing, Celine Dion.
Yeah. Good to have her back. Thank you, Dave.
All right.
Traffic from the MichaelsFlooringOutlet.com Traffic Center.
Well, if you're heading home on westbound 70 this afternoon, it's just a little busy at a few spots running past the airport, and then 270 Outdoor City, west of 94, approaching Zumbel to Cave Springs. More volume again, right around 79, most of the way to Bryan Road and A to Z finally after that. Those are all just slowdowns. Westbound 64, Kings Highway out through McCausland's bogged down, Clayton Worson to 270's heavy, and then west of Winghaven out to 70, a lot of slow traffic. Southbound 270 is off the pace from 364 down to about Doherty Ferry, but after that, you're in pretty good shape. If you're on southbound 55, south of Arsenal to Bates, delays a little slow at Merrimack Bottom and midway down from M through Highway Z. You've got some volume as well. If you're on northbound 170, Scudder up to Airport Road's busy. Westbound 44 approaching the Poplar, a little slow downtown. Eastbound 70 approaching Packers Avenue to 64 heavy, and 64 eastbound east to 255 midway to 159. There's even a westbound slowdown approaching 157 as well. I'm Roger Brand in the MichaelsFlooringOutlet.com Traffic Center.
SNL Coin. We buy gold and silver coins, silver and gold jewelry. Also buying gold-filled and silver plates. Before you sell, call SNL. 314-544-3600. 314-544-3600. SNL Coin.
If you're trusting someone to manage your money, take a moment to do your homework. Make sure they are properly registered and check their professional history. I'm Denny Hoskins, Missouri Secretary of State. Our office regulates investing and works to protect investors. Call the Missouri Securities Hotline at 800-721-7996 or visit MissouriProtectsInvestors.com. Paid for by the Missouri Investor Education and Protection Fund. This is a public service announcement.
This is the story of the one. As a procurement manager for a hospital system, she keeps every facility in her network stocked and ready. That's why she counts on Grainger to be her single source for thousands of products, from disinfectants to lighting, air filters, and more. And with fast, dependable delivery, Grainger helps her keep every facility stocked, safe, and running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Calling all runners. Register now for the Cardinals 5K on Saturday, April 18th, and you can take a victory lap on the field at Busch Stadium. Don't miss this chance to bring the whole family for a fun St. Louis 5K race that brings fans together to support kids in the community. The Cardinals 5K, Saturday, April 18th. Register now at cardinals.com/5K. And for more information, just head to KMOX.com/events.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. If you've been injured in a car accident, call America's largest injury law firm. For over 35 years, my mission has been to deliver more for our clients, to deliver more for you. Injured? Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
This is the story of the one. As a procurement manager for a hospital system, she keeps every facility in her network stocked and ready. That's why she counts on Grainger to be her single source for thousands of products, from disinfectants to lighting, air filters, and more. And with fast, dependable delivery, Grainger helps her keep every facility stocked, safe, and running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
There's a difference between liking a house and actually getting it. Redfin is built to make up that difference and close the gap between finding and owning the home for you. Redfin agents close twice as many deals as other agents, so when you find a home you love, you're not a step behind when it's time to make an offer. That means less watching great homes disappear and more focus on the ones you'll actually move into and call home. Redfin helps turn saved listings into real addresses. Get started at redfin.com. Own the dream.
Experience the power and passion of Mahler's Fifth Symphony with the St. Louis Symphony Orchestra. Music director Stefan Denev leads this monumental work, paired with the St. Louis Symphony Orchestra's first performances of Carlos Simon's Double Concerto Suite, featuring Grammy-winning violinist Hilary Hahn and cellist Seth Parker Woods. April 10th, 11th, and 12th at Powell Hall at the Jack C. Taylor Music Center. Tickets at slso.org.
Turning 50 doesn't mean slowing down. It means getting smarter about your health. That's why we created Neovitin Men's 50 Plus Multivitamin. It's doctor formulated to support your energy, immune health, and overall vitality. Plus, it's made in the U.S. using the finest domestic and international ingredients. Take control of your health with supplements you can trust. Look for Neovitin Men's 50 Plus at your local Schnucks, Dierbergs, or online at neovitin.com. Neovitin, made for men who keep moving forward.
For all station contest rules, go to KMOX.com/rules.
.351 DGS. Andrew is out today, a little bit under the weather. Hopefully he'll be back tomorrow. Tomorrow it's going to be a weird day because there's a noon game, but there's going to be rain. Dave Murray says that he doesn't think that it's going to make it all the way through without at least a delay, but he thinks they'll get the game in. So anyway, we'll be here at some point. There's a really interesting case. I believe it's out of the UK. It's not here in the US, but a woman slept with two identical twins, not at the same time. Actually, I don't know that. She got pregnant. One of the identical twins is on the birth certificate. Not sure why. Maybe he's her favorite. And they're trying to go to court and have it officially codified. And the court, the tribunal, said, we can't, because it's impossible to tell who the father is.
Interesting.
Maybe in the future, we will have more elaborate DNA testing, but right now they have exactly the same DNA. So you can't do it. You can't enforce this against either gentleman, and they are kind of scot-free. Although one of them wants to be the dad, one doesn't.
So just take the one that does?
Yeah, they can't make a ruling.
I mean,
So
of course they
they
can't.
could live that way, but there would be no legality to it.
Right.
So
Wait, who's on the birth certificate?
one of the twins.
Why don't they just put the one that they want to be the dad on the birth certificate?
I don't know. I don't think they can. I think at this point, now that
because you can't tell which is
now
which.
that the courts know about it, before they didn't know about it.
So here's I would think a self-evident thing, but maybe don't do that.
Sleep with identical twins.
Yeah.
See, everything's so simple for you.
Well, also like within a time
He seems like
frame.
eminently right, where you couldn't be
questioning-
sure which one it is.
I'm not trying to shame anybody, but
No.
like a little bit. Like,
But
come
tell me
on.
you've never had a shot at twins without telling me you've never had a shot at twins.
I never had a shot. The consequences of your own actions. I mean, it's a weird thing, and I can't imagine it's very common. But there's a reason it's not very common.
Yeah,
because the vast majority of people would be like, "Yeah, I'm not doing that."
Yeah. How'd you like to be the twin that didn't get picked? You look exactly like the other guy.
I mean,
I wanted to run something by you, Wheels. I don't know if you saw this, but Mason Wynn was being interviewed, and he was talking about those first two games, and he said something interesting. He said, in those situations, in the past, since I've been on the team would not have reacted the way we did. You know, we were excited. We knew we could come back, and basically said the old team I was on would not have reacted that way. I thought that was pretty interesting.
yeah, I don't know what to make of it, to be honest with you. I mean, younger players do tend to play a little bit more emotionally and a little more free. You're not as routine oriented, but also you could have thought that. But I mean, like, I guess my response to that would be, let's see how it plays out. Because if it's just a one-off, then it's just a one-off. If it keeps happening for 6 months, well, then maybe there's something to it. But even teams that don't have much get those kinds of games here and there.
Yeah.
It's just too early to know if it means anything.
Yeah. Let me tell you guys about my friend John Moriarty at E3 Wealth. First of all, anyone out there who is interested in getting a better hold on their finances, getting a better plan for retirement, you can reach out to John, and he would be happy to work with you. But what he really, really loves and has a special talent for is help